Well, folks, it's time for our main event. Light heavyweight title holder Antonio Tarver against former undisputed light heavyweight champion Roy Jones. No matter what belt is at stake, Jones is widely considered the best fighter in the world. Can Tarver, who fought Jones in 1984 in an amateur tournament, use his longtime knowledge of Jones to defeat him? We'll find out moments from now. Tarver versus Jones is being brought to you by Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, elegance and entertainment on the Las Vegas Strip, and by HBO Pay-Per-View, the best in pay-per-view entertainment, brought to you by the folks at HBO. You know, when you talk about a matchup, one factor you can't ignore is ring experience. Now, to reiterate what Jim Lampley said earlier, as a professional, Roy Jones has fought as many title fights as Antonio Tarver has fought fights. And one more note, when Tarver turned pro back in 1997, Roy Jones had already been a champion for 3.5 years. As for Tarver, he's looking for help from Buddy McGirt. Now, since McGirt signed on as trainer after Tarver's loss to Eric Harding, Antonio is 5-0 with a rematch knockout victory over Harding and a decision over former champion Montel Griffin. McGirt could be a difference maker again tonight. As we welcome you back up to the host position, James Brown, along with Hall of Fame manager and trainer Emanuel Stewart. And Emanuel, I can't help but smile. We understand that this theme is it personal? Roy insists that Tarver did not get up under his skin. But March 1st, the night when he won the heavyweight title, Jones looked to be pretty mad. Did Tarver get under his skin?
And he's still under his skin. Roy's coming in this fight definitely with an attitude. And the last two times I've saw him fight that way, he was very explosive. He fought Vinny Pazanza. He had an attitude because Vinny talks a lot too. And also Montel Griffin. And based on that, I expect him to come out explosive tonight.
Now, we've talked so much about Roy coming down 18 pounds now from March 1st when he won a heavyweight title. You had a guy, Tommy Hearns, who lost 15 pounds to go down to a lighter. Talk about the impact of that.
Thomas' case was very unusual. He was the junior middleweight champion of the world, which you may or may not understand. That's 154 pounds. And then we decided we wanted to fight for the light heavyweight title. We skipped two weight divisions, the 160 and the 168, and went up to the light heavyweight, which was 175. And he actually came into the ring heavier than the world champion and won that title. And then we wanted to be the first guy to win championships in 4 different weight divisions, so we decided to go back to 160 pounds. And so he lost 15 pounds and successfully won the middleweight championship. But the trick to that was we actually ate big dinners late at night while we would be playing cards for him to pick up the extra weight. And we just did just the opposite. For him to lose the weight, we decided he wouldn't eat nothing after 6 o'clock at night. And we had this only thing we did different. And he came in the ring with all those different weight divisions, very strong.
You and Jim Lampley emphasizing the weight difference and weight loss when you guys talk to me. Anyway, one last point here. Antonio Tarver. Now, he mentioned that he hasn't seen any punch that Roy has thrown that he can't handle. But, Manny, he has not been in the ring with Roy Jones. How will Antonio Tarver handle the speed of Roy Jones?
Antonio Tarver never saw anything like Roy Jones. Not only Roy punches fast, but he has power. I don't know how he does things. He punches so fast you can't see the punches, and then he has power in the punches. So he's going to see a new animal in there tonight.
All right, as we took a look there at Antonio Tarver, again getting some last-minute words and thoughts as he's about to go out and find out what it's like to fight the fastest man in boxing. All right, folks, let's head back downstairs to the svelte anchor of our boxing telecast, Jim Lampley. Jim?
All right, thank you, JB. And now get ready to watch history in the making, as at this point, everything Roy Jones does in the ring amounts to history. He's polishing his apple for his ultimate boxing legacy. Where will it place the most gifted fighter of his generation? Larry Merchant, Antonio Tarver, in the tumultuous build-up to this fight, has talked the talk brilliantly. Now can he come into the ring and brilliantly fight the fight?
Well, he's been so good in carrying the promotion that you almost wish he didn't even have to fight the fight anymore. His role has been to try to cut down Roy Jones to size, and he's tried to do it with volleys of verbs and adjectives. And so he's put himself in this position that way, as well as with what he's done in the ring in his last few fights. One thing he said was that since Roy lives on a farm, well, he calls him a country bumpkin. Says his chickens won't lay eggs anymore. Says his pit bulls are suicidal with anxiety over this fight. Says his pigs are demanding a jacuzzi. Whatever that means, these are riffs we haven't heard since the days of Muhammad Ali. If he could only fight like Ali.
You mean his pigs don't have a jacuzzi? How could that be?
They do fly, however.
Well, the pigs ate better leading up to this fight than Roy Jones, because George Foreman, when we talk about cutting the man down to size, that's what Jones had to do to himself. After going up to something between 195 and 200 to fight John Ruiz on March 1 this year. In training for this fight, Roy says he took off 24 pounds of muscle in 6 weeks. Given that experience, could this be the night when a great fighter comes to the ring and finds that his body has conspired to make this more difficult than it used to be?
All right, because he's about 200 pounds of muscles.
Right.
You lose a lot of weight like that, you're not losing fat. Roy Jones, and you remember the great Archie Moore. He was always a good heavyweight and, of course, the light heavyweight champion of the world, but losing those muscles to get down, he would always end up getting off the canvas a lot. And sometimes, if it had 3 knockdown rules, he would have lost his light heavyweight title. So this can be a trying moment for Roy Jones. Really a dangerous fight.
He's only been knocked down once in his career, that a flash knockdown at the hands of Lou Duval. Will Roy fight a cautious, self-protective fight in the wake of this weight loss?
I don't think so. He's such a skillful fighter. He's going to beat Roy Jones. That's probably the worst thing about it. He's going to be the typical Roy Jones and not be cautious. Once he started getting hit by those punches, and now he's not the same body, physically the same man, things can change, and he'll have to change boats in the middle of the stream.
He said to Larry Merchant that on a scale of 10, he feels like about a 7. We'll see if 7's enough. Tail of the tape now for the light heavyweight confrontation between Roy Jones and Antonio Tarver. You can see that they are equal in age, although Jones went to the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, and Tarver went to the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. For that, Roy says, how could he have been so proud about going to the Olympics and beating up on kids? Tarver with a 3-inch height advantage, half-inch arm length advantage, measured from the underarm to the end of the fist. Remember, Antonio's a southpaw. Roy has a ton of experience fighting against him. They both weighed in at the 175-pound limit, and they both had to sweat like the dickens to do it. In the interim, Tarver unofficially has put on 12 pounds on our HBO scale, and Jones has put on 10. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Antonio Tarver Roy Jones Jr. fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight in case a cut is caused by an accidental headbutt. We go to the scorecards after 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim!
All right, thank you, Harold. There was a tremendous brouhaha during negotiations for the fight over the subject of who would enter first and who would enter second. Threats from both sides that the fight would come down if the fighter did not get his way. At the end of the day, Jones acquiesces and agrees to enter first for the 2nd time in a row after having done so, of course, against Ruiz earlier this year.
One of the questions that I was curious about coming into this fight, Jim, was what kind of a bounce would he get out of his victory over the heavyweight John Ruiz? That is, what kind of response from the world out there beyond boxing? This is a pretty good house, 9,500, 10,000 people, more than was expected. We won't know about the pay-per-view numbers for a while, but certainly Roy Jones in the boxing world has had a huge bounce, for going up into the heavyweight division and showing his skills against the first heavyweight he ever fought.
And the response as Jones comes into sight in the arena suggests to you that it will be a Roy Jones crowd, that the bulk of these people are here to honor, as I mentioned, the most gifted fighter of his generation.
Maybe he's on his way to becoming a destination fighter after all of these years.
Well, because the perception is, on the part of many, that he took a risk against John Ruiz, and that multiplied his stock dramatically. Jones entering at a measured pace. Stands on the apron to receive his adulation, and this man likes adulation.
He is a prima donna. He has a giant ego like many superstars, and apparently no matter how hard Antonio Tarver tried, he could never cut that down to size.
When he was 13 years old, in an event called the Sunshine State Games, he got an amateur boxing win over a fellow 13-year-old named Antonio Tarver. Jones says Tarver's whole career is about trying to be like me.
If that's true, it's not a terrible idea. The reason that Tarver got to the Olympics 8 years after Roy Jones was that after they fought as young teenagers, he didn't fight again as an amateur for 6 years because his family moved away from any neighborhood that had a gymnasium.
Tarver is said to have thought that he would get a college football scholarship coming out of high school in Orlando. It didn't happen. His life fell into some bad patterns. He did self-destructive things. Eventually, he went back to boxing and wound up as a late bloomer in the amateur ranks, who was regarded as the star of the United States Olympic team going to Atlanta in 1996. There, he lost to Vasily Girov, which at the end of the day ain't all that embarrassing.
And it should be made clear that Antonio Tarver's gotten here with more than just his verbal gymnastics and his imagination. He did earn this shot. He gained the respect of the boxing world when he fought a rematch with Eric Harding, who had inflicted his only defeat and stopped him in a fight that he really didn't have to take in order to get tonight's fight.
It was an impressive risk-taking performance by Tarver. He emphatically knocked Harding out, then came back with an excellent performance in dominating Montel Griffin, who at one point in his career had given Jones problems for a few rounds, en route to winning via disqualification the fight which ranks as the only loss of Jones's career. Tarver, I think, is taking his time getting to the ring so that Jones can experience waiting in the ring for him, which is unusual, of course, for Jones. Trainer Buddy McGirt, who has gotten so much glory in the last couple of years, has helped Antonio Tarver to move up to a higher level of recognition and has helped them make this a big fight. Let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mandalay Bay of Las Vegas, Square Ring, in association with the motion picture Matrix Revolutions, is proud to present 12 rounds of boxing for the light heavyweight championship of the world. sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman John Bailey, Executive Director Mark Ratner. The 3 judges scoring this contest on the 10-point system will be Glenn Hamada, Dave Harris, and Jerry Roth. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Kenny Bayless. And now, with dedication to the men and women serving with honor as members of the Armed Forces of the United States of America, from the Mandalay Bay of Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue with white, and officially weighing 175 pounds. Since capturing the Outstanding Fighter Award at the 1988 Olympics, he has defeated every man he has faced as a professional, compiling a record of 48 victories, including 38 knockouts. His only loss, a disqualification later reversed with a first-round knockout. He is a 5-time champion, currently recognized by the IBO in this division and by the WBA in the heavyweight division. That title not on the line tonight. From Pensacola, Florida, the pound-for-pound king of boxing, the 5-time world champion and current WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr. And fighting out of the blue corner, his opponent, representing Star Boxing and wearing purple trimmed with black and officially weighing in at 175 pounds also. Before turning pro, he was recognized as the best amateur in the world. Now, as a professional with an outstanding record of 21 victories, including 17 knockouts and only 1 defeat, he is ready to serve notice on the boxing world that he alone is the world's best in this division, and he is the true champion. Ladies and gentlemen, from Orlando, Florida, the reigning, defending WBC light heavyweight champion of the world, Antonio Magic Man Tarver.
Okay, gentlemen, we got trunks high here. Any punch thrown in this area is considered a clean punch. Same thing on this side. Now, guys, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want you to keep the fight clean at all times. I want you to protect yourself at all times. And what I say, you must obey. Good luck. Touch up.
Roy Jones says he has a kind of incredible Hulk inside him called RJ, which we seldom see, a relentlessly angry fighter. Does Antonio Tarver had an AT to meet RJ.
Round 1 begins. Tarver is longer and with the southpaw style hopes to land something big. His left hand over the top, by far his strongest punch. Jones hopes to use his superior mobility and boxing skill to make himself difficult to find and to make Tarver pay when he misses.
Jones got to realize he is not the champion tonight. He's the challenger, which means that he's got to attack, win every round if he want to take this title away from this man. You can't go in with this superior feeling. I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. I've been the light heavyweight title holder. You got to start from scratch.
Against John Ruiz, he was able to attack selectively and to defend effectively.
And he attacked, and that's how he won, on point. Tarver, at the same time, has got to not give this man any respect. Stand your ground, believe you are the champion.
Jones.
If you believe you are the champion, you can win this thing.
Jones landed a little left hand up and under Tarver's chin. Tarver tries to get started with the jab upstairs. Jones short with jabs to the body. Tarver, because he's long, exposes his rib cage. Jones says, there's work to be done there. I'm going to the body and ripping it.
I like Tarver. He stays right in his stance. Hasn't jumped, missed, or anything. Stays right in his hands up in position.
Jones, straight right hand, glanced past Tarver's right cheek.
Jones very conscious of the left hand of Tarver, probably believing Tarver cannot beat him with that right hand.
Roy Jones has winged a few and missed, fell short because of that height and the reach advantage that Tarver has. He's on you, but yet you're not on him.
14 months since Roy Jones last fought as a light heavyweight against Clinton Woods in Portland, Oregon last September. Incidentally, Woods, fighting for one of the light heavyweight titles yesterday, fought to a draw in England with Glencoff Johnson.
Roy Jones has tried his feinting and hasn't moved Tarver 1 inch.
Nevertheless, Jones is throwing more punches. Now Tarver lands his first left hand of the fight upstairs. And now Tarver lands another left, goes twice to the body. Becomes the aggressor as he corners Jones.
You never see people go at Jones' body like Tarver just did. That could make a difference. He doesn't start head hunting, stay right on that body.
Jones blocking shots with his arms, and he lands a counter right hand. Tarver lands another left. Maybe Jones's most curious habit is that of backing himself into corners. He does it more frequently than you might suspect from such a great fighter.
Very good round. Now listen, he's trying to walk you to that right hand. Don't get caught leading with that left hand, okay? Now listen, when he goes to the ropes, give me some head movement, okay? Hey, listen to me. Look at me, look at me. You got it. Very good. Let's stay focused. You understand me? We got 2 hours. We got to stay focused. All right?
He's sitting back right now. He's sitting back right now. He's trying to load up at the end, but just keep your jab. Try to get your jab working. Try to offset him. Set up some shots, okay?
All right.
All right. It's okay. It's first round. Ready to go. Feel him on the outside. Feel him on the outside with some punches now. Make sure you roll something off.
All right.
Okay?
There is either a headbutt or a chin butt in this fight, as you can see there. Tarver dipping down and coming up to the right side of Roy's face.
Some things you do hurt more than a punch.
CompuBox numbers in round one don't offer much guidance as to who might have won the round. Jones 7 out of 27, Tarver 11 out of 40. Harold Letterman gives the first round to Tarver, probably because of the big left hands he landed in the last 30 seconds of the round.
I want you to know this reach that Tarver has is giving Jones some trouble. He hits you, but yet he's too far away for you to get him without jumping out of the way, Tarver.
And his determination to go to the body is apparent. Already you see that because of that reach, and George has made the point, Roy Jones is going to have to take more risks than is usually the case to get inside and do damage.
He's got someone just as quick and as fast as he is who can counter.
I don't know about that. Just as quick?
Yes, with that counter punch. This guy's a light heavyweight. He's not a heavyweight. That's going to miss you.
He lands the left hand right through the middle of the guard.
That right hand hurt Roy Jones.
Antonio Tarver has gotten off to a very confident start.
Now he's got Roy Jones angered. Not backing away.
Well, Jones said, the first time he hits me in the head, the fight will be over. I'll dispose of him in 45 or 50 seconds after that. That hasn't happened. And frankly, a lot of us thought that Jones probably wouldn't be that aggressive in the wake of all the weight loss.
Tarver uses feinting himself now.
Jones to the body with the right hand. Got that one in.
That's been his most effective punch so far.
Now Tarver jabbing to the body to continue to create space.
Tarver's reach, the big difference tonight. Stays on balance, does his punching and gets right out of there.
Lands 2 more left hands right through the middle of Jones's guard.
Jones's nose has been reddened.
Roy Jones has been hit very hard by Antonio Tarver. Doesn't like it, wants to respond to it, has trouble getting inside.
It's speed versus speed and intelligence tonight. And a light heavyweight fighter. He's fighting in his weight class. Roy Jones has become a heavyweight.
In 8 previous fights in the light heavyweight division against Southpaws, Roy Jones has won on judges' scorecards 173 out of 186 rounds. Here, he may be losing the first 2 rounds on the scorecards to Antonio Tarver.
Every time he throws a punch, Tarver makes him pay.
Look at Tarver banging away with the left hand and landing them again, this time coming around the guard. And Jones didn't answer.
You're doing beautiful, Antonio. Do me one favor. After you get your shots off, when he's on the ropes, okay, don't worry about his head. Walk back to the center of the ring. Don't stand in front of him. Okay, now listen. The jab that you're throwing is bothering him. Antonio, look at me. We got to stay focused, baby. The jab you...
Let him sit up. He's just trying to wait for a counter. Keep his feet moving. Keep his feet moving. You understand?
Huh?
Okay?
All right.
Give me some more feints and working that jab. Change your jab up. Use your lateral movement.
On the ropes, Tarver is threading that left hand straight through the guard of Jones. And then you see him go to the body. And as long as Roy Jones is covering up, he's going to get punched. And as soon as Jones looks to punch back, Tarver is stepping back.
CompuBox count of power shots in round 2. Tarver 9 out of 23. Jones 5 out of 16. Antonio Tarver winning the first 2 rounds on Harold Letterman's card. And we have to assume likely on the other scorecards as well. Great start for Tarver.
And one of the things that I'm struck by, Jim, is how relaxed he looks in there.
Totally.
He's fighting as confidently as he talked coming into the fight.
Well, believe it or not, at this moment, I think he's fighting more confidently than Roy Jones because he has a clearer picture so far of what he can do.
Roy Jones is fighting actually as a middleweight because he's lost all of the muscles. He didn't fall into in the light heavyweight division. He went all the way down like a weak middleweight to this guy. Lost a lot of strength there, losing that weight.
So you think Tarver's stronger?
Tarver is stronger. He's got the power, and the snap is on his jab. Look, snap. Hits him and bring it back before you can block it.
Roy Jones just missed with a big counter left hook. He was short with the punch.
Now Tarver's playing Roy Jones' game. You want to keep doing what you're doing. Don't go playing that little chicken game.
Tarver using his jab to keep Jones at bay, not landing it, but keeping the space between them. Jones, unable to mount much offense, now gets in a blistering shot to the body.
And the crowd seems to be getting into this fight, even though there's not a lot of action. They see that Antonio Tarver is going feint for feint and punch for punch with the great Jones.
Another body shot for Jones. It's certainly different when they're in the center of the ring as opposed to in the corners and on the ropes. Tarver has been totally dominant when Jones backs into corners, and he's done it 3 times.
I like Tarver what he was doing in the first couple of rounds. Now he's going to clowning. You can't outdo that. Roy Jones is better at that.
In this round, Tarver hasn't gotten off, and Jones is beginning to.
He got him off of his game plan a little bit. Start jabbing and juking, and that doesn't work in there with this guy. You got to stay basic.
Buddy McGirt is determined for Tarver to make the jab a force in the fight, and you see Roy Jones trying to counter it with left hooks. Now Tarver getting tentative with the jabs, and Jones hits him hard again to the body.
Roy Jones, the best body punchers ever in those middleweight divisions.
And there's the first big left hook that snaps Tarver's chin to his left shoulder.
Tarver stopped using his left jab, start playing with it and patting it with it. Jones got to look closer.
Now he backs into a corner again. Here's Tarver's opportunity. Manages to get in the left upstairs. Jones trying to counter. Jumps out of the corner, and Tarver drives him back into the ropes again. So Tarver didn't get much done till the last 15 seconds, but then he landed 2 big left hands.
All right. I like it. You double your right hand up that time and it landed. Let me know when you're ready for the head. When you shoot the single right hand, if you miss, double up with something. Come back with another one. Step up and come right back with a hook. I want you to make him move his feet a little bit more, champ. Don't let him sit. Make him move back. Make him move back.
Deep breath. Take a deep breath. Okay? Now listen, he's having trouble. You're frustrating him. Okay? Don't fall into his game plan because he's trying to take you off of it. Don't mock with him. Don't do none of that. Okay? Let's stick to what we came here to do. Okay, baby?
It was a desultory round for Tarver until the very end, when once again on the ropes he had the better of it. Roy Jones has in many fights gone to the ropes and invited opponents to come in and then found openings that he punched through.
Buddy McGirt echoing George Foreman, urging Tarver not to clown with Jones. Harold, how'd you score it through the first?
Okay, Jim. 29-28, 2-1 Antonio Tarver. I gave him the first 2 rounds. Roy Jones definitely come back to win the third. Jim, one quick point on the rules. You're only allowed to use a small amount of Vaseline on a fighter's body. Look at Antonio Tarver's head. I think it's greased up with something.
It's just a shiny old bald head,
Maybe. Hey, we have an expert at shiny bald heads.
Tell you everything about a shiny bald head.
Jones eyeing the body. Tarver looking upstairs.
You see, it's like those horses, those pacers. Once you break your pace, you're out of the race. Tarver was right. He was pacing right, and he started to clown, and he lost everything. He never should have done it.
Roy Jones fighting at the staccato pace that he likes now. This is a guy who, despite his multiple gifts, throws only about 40 punches per round because he can get his offense done in that small output of punches without risking much by leaving himself open.
The question that begins to emerge now is that it looks like it's going to be a long fight, maybe a long fight. And whether the weight situation will in any way affect Jones in the championship round.
I thought it would, but now Jones has made this fight fold into his kind of style, and he can do this for 25,
So you don't think
rounds.
he's using up his energy here?
Not at all.
Straight right hand lands for Jones as he leaps in and then jumps right on past Tarver out of punching range. 2 more straight right hands. Fight is beginning to come into Jones's wheelhouse.
Jones standing his ground and taking the lead now after losing those first 2 rounds.
What must Antonio Tarver do now to regain the advantage, George?
If a knockout does not occur for Tarver, he's in for a long, rough night because he was on gate doing a good job. He broke his gate. Now, how do you get back? He can't go back with the same thing now.
He was making the pace early, but then in round 3, everything changed.
He's just going to have to get in there, maul and brawls, and try to get Jones to slug it out with it. He's tentative with his jab, Tarver is. He lays it out there and is almost afraid he's going to get hit with a counter shot.
Once again, Jones on the ropes. Once again, Tarver lets his hands fly.
That's what he's got to do all night long. Go back to the middle of the ring once you finish. Don't stay there, though.
Tarver getting the best of it again. Jones countered twice off the ropes. Hard left hook to the body. They don't like each other. They don't like each other at all.
Listen to me, go back there now. That range was good that round. That range was good that round.
I got it. All righty? Look at me. You can beat this guy, Antonio. Look at me, man. You're giving him too much respect. Okay? Let's go, baby. You worked too hard for this, man.
You got him, baby.
Okay?
God is on the job.
You worked too hard for this. Okay, now we got to start picking up a little bit more. More head movement. Okay, he's getting desperate. You're trying to counter that right hand. So keep.
We got him just what we wanted now. Now he gonna stay.
Let's see, at the end of the round, Tarver got upset with that borderline low blow, and that's what all that face-to-face stuff was. as the round ended.
Tarver only got off 25 punches in round 4 by CompuBox count. He's got to do better than that. Jones landed 7 of 33. They were the 7 he wanted to land.
You heard Buddy McGirt tell Tarver he's showing too much respect for Jones. Let's see what Tarver does now.
If Tarver could have continued to build that early lead on the scorecards, it would have affected the strategy of the bout. Now Jones is back in the position he prefers. Jones has shortened the distance enough now to land that right hand to the body pretty consistently.
Jones got Tarver's timing now. Locks his shot. Tarver's afraid to go in. That's what you want a guy, even when you can't do anything. Make him afraid to do something himself.
And Jones has made enough of a statement in rounds 3 and 4 that Tarver didn't even try to trap him in the corner when Jones backed in this time.
You can't be afraid of it.
Tarver's got to use every opportunity he can to close down the lights on Jones when Jones backs up.
He's allowing Jones to use the middle of the ring now. That should have been his statement.
Tarver, who was aggressive with the jab before, now pawing with it and backing up at the same time. Larry calls this punching from the back seat. Has Jones done this with power, George? Did he hurt Tarver enough?
He hurt him with something that Tarver is mighty afraid. And I think it was a body shot more than anything. Jones got that ability to hit you once and make you afraid for the rest of the night. Doesn't take 2 or 3 shots.
Or he might realize that the counter left hook is so fast that he may not see it every time.
You gotta attack it. You can't sit and wait for Roy Jones.
Tarver was offensively magnificent during much of the first 2 rounds. Now he seems to have shut it down, and Jones is pot-shotting it. Tarver gets a jab to the head there. These jabs don't have authority, but they start to land again. Jones's body shot does have authority.
This is when the veterans start to take over this. He's thinking and he's landing shots. Roy Jones, Tarver's got to get aggressive, make this man respect him a little bit as he did in the first couple of rounds.
Roy Jones, after an uncertain start, has begun to sap Antonio Tarver's confidence as we come toward the end of round 5. Tarver short with 2 jabs, short again. Jones landed a right hand.
You give it, no, don't shake your head, yeah, you're not doing it. You stand in your ground, you're not standing your ground, baby, you're giving him too much, okay? You pulling with the jab, what's the matter? Talk to me.
Nothing.
Okay, let's go out here, baby, we got to fight this joker.
Okay.
Okay? You got to fight him, you can rest all day tomorrow, but you got to keep that jab going. You have to be the aggressor, okay? You're giving him too much confidence, baby, let's go.
He's scooting his body out, it's hard to get to him. Hit the closest thing to you, though, when he moved back. If his stomach there, hit the body, then his head come forward, go to the head. A lot of feints to keep your movement going like you're doing, but get some combinations in. He's slowing down some. You'll be able to touch him, though.
Right hand jab, the right hand jab, come back with the right hand.
Come on.
CompuBox numbers tell a fascinating story. Antonio Tarver, so effective with his big left hand in the first 2 rounds, threw only 1 power shot in the 5th round, didn't land it. Jones 8 out of 14, as I mentioned, hot-shotting from the outside. Buddy McGirt seems totally bewildered as to what happened to his fighter. Now Tarver starts to throw again.
You got to keep it up. If you're Tarver, you just got to keep punching. You can't wait to get a good shot with Jones. He's too fast. Just throw something.
And you can't expect that Jones isn't going to land. He's too fast and too accurate. So you're just going to have to take some of it. It's Tarver in rounds 4 and 5 seemed unwilling to do.
You can't miss a southpaw with a straight lead right hand, and Jones seemed to be exploiting that. He just throws one. If he misses the body, he hits the gloves. If he misses the gloves, he hits the head.
Not even trying to throw the right hand upstairs. There he wung one upstairs. Wung, that's the past tense of wing. but most of the time he's just sticking that right hand resolutely to the body. Now Jones backs into a corner again. Will Tarver throw the big lefts? He was raining them on Jones in the first couple of rounds.
He's very wary of the fact that Jones is looking for him to throw the left hand.
Tarver starts to release again. Go into the body as he did effectively early on. There's the problem. Jones counters like a panther.
Jones is a good athlete, period. Be a good basketball, football, tennis. He's a good athlete. It's hard to fight those kind of guys.
Can I amend that to great athlete?
Yep, you can put him right in that territory.
I mean, I think it's the greatest body in sports, George. Even though he's put it through a lot of difficulty in the last 6 months, that's for sure.
What?
Now, Tarver can put
Hard
the
right
pressure
hand
on.
upstairs by Jones.
Tarver can put some pressure on. These latter rounds can make Jones fold a little bit because of the weight loss.
Yeah,
he's not doing anything.
It's Jones who's putting pressure on Tarver with his ability to counter so effectively. Larry?
Well, Jones actually looked better against the bigger and slower Ruiz because he could fire off volleys of punches. And here he's back to throwing those one shots.
Now here comes Tarver again. Tarver reemerges in the fight in round 6.
Roy Jones is trying to make Tarver expel some of his energy because he's not in a great energy position himself.
Jones backs Tarver up contemptuously with 2 right hands. And there's a huge right hand. And that punch hurt Tarver.
Roy goes to the body with that right hand, trying to make range for the get up to the head sooner or later.
You're not doing that, baby. You're not doing nothing. You stand and let him take the play from you. Okay? Give me water, baby. You let him take the play from you, champion. Okay? We got the fighting now. Now you got to bite down. You give him too much respect. What's the matter, baby? Then let's fight him. You got to fight him. When he goes on the ropes to land there, you're wasting energy. Okay?
Man, you got a little whelp under his left eye, Doc. Okay? What I want you to do is move out to your right, to your left. Okay? After you shoot your right hand, move out to your left. Stay on the outside of his right hand. Don't come back to center mash. You shoot that right hand, come back with an uppercut and going out to your left still. Okay?
His right hook ain't never good to left hand.
No, I know.
So why roughing right hook? Watch the right hand.
But the thing is, what I'm saying, when you land a shot to the body, you're coming right back out there. Going through when he turns.
Antonio Tarver says he envisioned in his dreams a late round stoppage of Roy Jones.
It's possible, too. It is possible.
It also is possible that Jones scores a late round stoppage of Tarver. It's also possible we go 12 rounds.
That's better. That's probable.
Nothing settled here. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 4 rounds to 2, 58-56, Roy Jones Jr. Jim, I gotta tell you something. For 4 rounds, I've been watching Antonio Tarver stand there waiting for Roy Jones to hit him. And Roy's hitting him. I don't know. I just don't know what he's waiting for. Roy Jones smacking him with vicious right hands. And when Roy goes up on the ropes, he throws that right hand so hard that it will take Tarver's head off. Work out.
Jones seems to feel as though he's taken away enough of Tarver's punching power now that he can stand in there and take it after he throws. Rather than to counter with one shot and go on by and get away from Tarver, he's standing and trading with Tarver. And now this gives Antonio a chance to get back into the fight a little bit with power shots. Trying to bust through the guard again. He lands a left hand.
Tarver's got to believe that he's effective now. You can't just think this guy's playing. Roy Jones is getting hit for real. Tarver's got to believe it.
Tarver landed that left-hand shot. Jones clowned a little bit. Tarver lands 2 more left hands. This kind of barrage scores heavily for Tarver, even while Jones sneers contemptuously at him. Now Tarver begins to fight the way he did early, seeming to realize that he's not going to win by standing and posing and trading individual shots with Roy Jones.
Roy Jones is going into those ropes not because of strategy. He's physically exhausted.
He's starting to breathe with his mouth open.
Well, that should give Tarver more chances to hit him. Let's see what he can get done. Jones dropping his hands to invite the straight left. Jumps out with the jab. Oh, those right hands to the body are thundering.
Only Tarver can understand that he's got to keep pressure on Jones.
Get the tape ready.
If only.
Straight right hand flush on the chin of Antonio Tarver. So quick. Jones gets the shot in when he wants to.
He sweeps that right hand just like a knife. It hits you and cut your stomach off. That's the way Jones throws that right hand.
And the right hand upstairs as Jones gradually begins to raise the target.
Head movement. All right. Take a deep breath. Why you lay on the rope like that? Huh? Don't lay on the rope with it. Keep your back to the center of the ring. That's why you try to get off of little body shots on the rope. Keep your back to the center of the ring. Keep pot shotting. Keep pot shotting. Don't give him what he wants.
He'll be all right.
Really stay consistent at the end of the round. Okay. All right? Keep that jab in his face, Antonio. But don't pull out after you jab. Don't pull back.
Okay.
Stay with it. Okay? And you catch him going down the middle, baby. Deep breath. All right, baby?
Okay.
Come on, all right?
Possibly Tarver's best shot landed on the ear of Roy Jones earlier in the round.
CompuBox numbers on power punches in the 7th round. Jones 13 out of 20. Or out of 22, I should say. 59%. Tarver, that time, throwing 41 power shots. Remember, there was a round 2 rounds ago when Tarver threw 1 power shot. So he's had a strangely inconsistent performance in the fight.
Roy Jones sits on the stool and actually looks like Sugar Ray Robinson when he fought for the light heavyweight title. Who was it he fought?
Joey Maxim.
Joey Maxim.
You think he's that tired?
He is that tired. Now he's fighting on pure guts. And, of course, experience.
And Antonio Tarver goes to the body hard, so if Jones is tired, Tarver can sap a little more out of him by hanging the punches on his body.
For those of you who aren't 100 years old like George and me, Robinson was beating the light heavyweight champion Joey Maxim, and then late in the fight he collapsed from the heat.
And Jones is not so much that he's exhausted, but he's taken off a lot of weight to fight this young man who's been waiting for him for years. Good thing about it, Tarver's not pressing anything. Roy is tired, but Tarver's allowing him to get a breath, get a win whenever he chooses. If only he would press the issue.
Tarver has been punished to the middle of his belly by Jones's right hand.
I think what intimidates other fighters is the speed of Roy's hands, as much as their punching ability. That they don't see the punches coming. They're beaten to the punch consistently. And so for most of them, they keep their guards up, like you see Tarver now, afraid to shoot their hands out.
You see when Roy throws 3 or 4 punches, he's tired. He has to go to the ropes for a refuge.
Tarver banging away at the Jones guard. Jones blocking punches with his elbows. Tarver just missed with the left hand upstairs.
Jones is looking for rest, and Tarver should not give him any.
And he isn't.
Don't believe that he's faking it. Stay on him.
No spinning. Come on, hurry up.
Kenny Bayless telling Tarver that he can't hold Jones with the shoulders and spin it.
There's an unusual amount of swelling on the left side of Roy Jones' eye.
Yes, his left eye is beginning to get puffy.
He's got nothing, and Tarver's got to believe it.
Jones not throwing. Tarver banging away. Jones giving away the 8th round. Seemingly trying to rest.
The referee is looking in on this.
Roy Jones seemed to give away that round as he sucked wind, looking for further energy.
Antonio, look at me. You got this if you keep doing what you're doing, but you got to keep it up. Don't have to be hard shot. Touch him, touch him. Keep picking the lock, okay?
Okay, you got to let your hands go. You got to put something on this joker. Slow him down. Okay? Come on, let's go. Let's push it, baby. Let's push it now. I don't want you to stand on the ropes like you're doing now. Okay? Come on, let's go.
Well, Roy Jones allowing himself to be beaten up on the ropes. You have to assume he's there, not because it's a place he loves to be, but because it's a place he thinks he can get some rest.
I don't think that it bothered Tarver that Jones stuck out his tongue. Antonio threw 40 power punches in that round, only 9 for Roy Jones. We're into the 8th, or excuse me, we're into the 9th. And clearly Tarver has won 3 rounds. Has he won any more on the other scorecards? One of the more competitive fights of Roy Jones's career.
Roy Jones indicated to us that this could be his last fight as a light heavyweight. He may do better against bigger guys.
Could be his last fight, period, because he says the heavyweight he wants to fight is Mike Tyson. And who knows whether Tyson will ever fight again.
The biggest thing tonight is Antonio Tarver. Doesn't look like he can beat him. Oh, good body punch.
No spinning. There we go.
That's a fair referee, giving the same information to both fighters. You're not going to see that every day.
Kenny Bayless, first major fight of this magnitude for Bayless. Good, agile, quick, athletic referee.
Jones is doing one shot at a time.
And that's taking everything he has to do that.
Yeah, but Jones is trying to win this round after having not been terribly competitive in the last one.
Well, Tarver's doing no shots at a time.
With movement, Jones has stopped Tarver's offense in this round so far. And with movement, Jones has set himself up to land one punch at a time, enough to be seizing the offensive initiative again.
That Tarver's waiting with that straight left now. He is trying to time hit Roy Jones with a straight left.
George Tarver knows he's in the fight, so he doesn't want to take any chances. That could be a catch-22.
He's got something up now. Finally got confidence to throw that straight right hand.
There it is. Left hand by Tarver.
There it is.
Another hard left hand. And Tarver lets his hands go again. And the crowd is beginning to appreciate the spirited challenge that Antonio Tarver is putting up to Roy Jones.
Tarver says that Jones has always made mistakes in the ring that other fighters couldn't take advantage of.
Important rally down the stretch here by Jones. Tarver, with that flurry of power punches, had set himself up to possibly steal the rounds, but Jones, I believe, might have stolen it back in the last 10 seconds.
Heart and soul, Roy Jones.
And we got to work, baby. You got to work. He can't take that pressure, Antonio. Water, please. Water, please. He can't take that pressure. You got to walk to him, and you got to punch. Okay? When he starts them flurries, just punch. Don't worry about power. We got to score points.
Still don't want your back on the ropes. You're getting your back on them ropes. Keep your back to the center of the ring. Give me that towel, man.
Hold the middle when you come when you get to the ropes, all right? Just stand the middle for me. Sharp.
Keep him turning when you finish, okay?
Lock down one.
Come here,
Okay, that's good.
Keep him turning when you finish. Don't stay in front of him. Oh,
Here, hold on.
This is Tarver's, again, his best punch, his straight left hand, but he hasn't been able to land it anywhere except on the ropes with Jones' body braced to absorb the punches.
CompuBox numbers on power in the 9th round. Jones 10 out of 23 that time. Tarver 3 out of 12. So the seesaw goes back the other way. Harold, how do you have it through 9?
Okay, Jim. 87-84, 6 rounds to 3. Roy Jones Jr. Jim, I tell you, in the middle of the ring, Antonio Tarver doesn't punch. He waits for Roy to go back and lay on the ropes, and then he comes up with a flurry. But it's just not enough. I think Roy's doing much more damage in the middle of the ring. Like just right there.
I have it 5 rounds to 3 with 1 even.
Jones is breathing through an open mouth all the time now, fighting to stay at a high energy level as Tarver bangs him again with a straight left.
All night long, he's been waiting for that left.
Antonio Tarver is starting to risk it all, knowing that he's got a tired Roy Jones in front of him. He's going to give it a shot.
I don't know that I've ever seen Jones look quite in as much trouble as he does right now.
Never.
This is Florida here. Orlando
versus Pensacola.
I don't know who you're pulling for.
Well, these are some of the most suspenseful moments of Roy Jones's 14-year professional career.
Roy is going against Florida. Seems like the Florida athletes give all the country a lot of trouble.
Tarver trying to gain revenge for his loss to Jones at age 13 in the Sunshine State Games. Jones says, hey, look, it was a long time ago when we were boys, but I whooped him then and I'll whip him again.
And that's what he feels right now. Although he's been jumped on, knocked around, Roy Jones keep giving his all. Not going to give up.
I don't know if the fight is there to be won for Tarver or not, but Jones seems vulnerable and he is not doing anything about it.
You know, the fight would definitely be there for Tarver to win if he had managed to keep his momentum and his energy in rounds 3, 4, and 5. When he receded into a shell, gave the rounds to Jones, lost all the momentum he had generated in the first 2 rounds. If he had kept going in those rounds, he might be leading right now.
Well, I give Jones credit. He changed his strategy, and it took Tarver a few rounds to readjust.
Now that straight left hand is right.
Jones is taking big shots from Antonio Tarver.
And he can barely see out of that left eye, I can tell you that. There it is, straight left hand. Waits all night for it, maybe waits too much.
Combination. Yep. Keep your back to the center of the ring, baby. I don't want your backs on the rope at all. Okay? Come on, you gotta give me these 2 rounds big. Oh, your nose. Give me these 2 rounds big. Give me deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Let's go. Let's go.
What round are we going to 10?
11.
Okay.
No, 11.
Okay,
It's 11
okay, Nathaniel, you got to jump on him.
Okay, I got
You
it.
can't take a backward step.
Okay.
Punch when he punch, baby.
Okay.
See if that's it. See if that's
You
it.
got it, baby. Championship
Punch when he
round,
punch.
baby.
Look at me, champ. I got to keep you focused.
Okay.
Punch when he punch. Don't back up.
Okay.
Back to the
round,
jab.
baby.
Okay.
Cut yourself a new piece of bait and dig a little and fish a little deeper.
CompuBox numbers
Both of them
in.
have to do that.
Jones 5 out of 34, Tarver 17 out of 56. There is an electric air of suspense here in the Mandalay Bay Casino Arena. Antonio Tarver's in the fight. He's got a shot coming down the stretch against the greatest fighter in the world.
Not often you're going to see the best fighter in the world so fatigued.
How badly is Jones' vision compromised out of his left eye?
Left eye, the sight is not there. I've been there. You want the guy to stay in front of your right eye.
Why doesn't Tarver jab to that left eye?
Tarver just seems not to take advantage of anything. Boy, but he's aiming with that straight right now, straight left.
And Jones continues to target the straight right. How many times, in fact, never, I'll say it, never has Alton Murkerson had to say to Roy Jones, Roy, with urgency, give me these last 2 rounds big. Not just give me the last 2 rounds, we need them big. That's big.
Most Roy Jones fights have been over after 3 or 4 rounds when his opponent yields, gives up, recognizes he's not going to win. On this occasion, Jones has to come back in the late rounds, and he's doing it.
What a performance now by Jones, reaching deep, trying to find the greatness that he needs to hold off Antonio Tarver. Now the combinations begin to flow. Now Roy Jones becomes RJ. Murkerson wanted a big round. So far, Jones has delivered it. Still a minute to go. Tarver now trying to jab. Jones having trouble seeing out of that eye. Tarver in danger of punching himself out against Jones's arms, but the tape comes free on his glove. What a lucky break for Tarver.
What a break for Roy Jones Jr.
Because
the tape came loose. Roy is
he needs
really
time to rest.
He at least resting.
I think they were both tired.
But for good reasons, Tarver is he's landing shots.
Okay, let's see if he goes back to throwing. That was a great point, George.
Roy Jones is an 8-1, was an 8-1 favorite coming into this fight. He hasn't been that dominant, obviously.
But he may win anyway, because he's doing what champions do.
I can't believe Roy Jones Jr. Can't believe it.
We've all wondered how Roy would react to adversity. He is reacting like a champion now.
He's been out of this fight physically for the last 6 rounds, but yet he digs down and fights, throws shots anyway.
So it's guile, it's courage, it's will, it's his experience and knowledge coming to the fore.
Most of all, that's a heart.
1 round to go. Terrific fight.
We need this round. We need this round.
Championship round, baby.
We need this round.
We need it.
Don't look at me like that. We need this round. Listen to me. 3 minutes. Do not give up not 1 second. You understand me? Because if he misses, the crowd goes crazy. Okay. So we got to bite down now, Antonio. Okay.
Last and final round, touch glass, Roy. Keep him moving back, champ. Take deep breath. Take deep breath. This is it, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Keep touching. Okay, baby?
Don't give up nothing, baby.
Don't give up nothing. Nothing, Antonio.
All right. Pressure,
look at me. Let's go out here and fight for 3 minutes. You owe it to yourself. Okay, let's go.
It's yours, baby.
30 seconds now. Come on.
10th time into the 12th round for Jones. He's won all 9 previous fights. Tarver, 2-1 in his 3 previous 12-round fights. Under the circumstances, the 11th round has to be seen as maybe the most courageous round of Roy Jones's career. Let's see if he can do it again in the 12th.
Exciting, it is exciting. Tarver still looking for that one straight left hand.
Buddy McGirt told him not to wait, but he's waiting anyway.
Waiting for one big shot. Here's the most experienced guy in the division in the 12th round. You got to give it to him. You got to give him one shot after another.
Buddy McGirt wanted much more than this out of Tarver in the 12th. He's not letting his hands go. It's the same problem he's had all night in the center of the ring. Now he drives Jones back with the left. And as Jones goes to the ropes, here's Tarver's chance. Can Antonio Tarver solidify the light heavyweight championship of the world? Can he knock Roy Jones out?
Jones is hurt, but he's fighting. You got to do more than hurt Roy Jones.
They're on their feet at the Mandalay Bay. Everybody standing. High drama. Big right hand by Jones. Left hook lands too.
It looks like Tarver's gotten tired now. Tarver should have the most strength, the most endurance. And Roy Jones is doing this on heart and desire.
Through most of a safety-first career, we've waited to see Roy Jones tested this way. He's coming through.
When a boxer like Roy gets older, perhaps a little bit slower, we start to see what intangibles he has inside of him, not just the pure athletic ability.
He's got a bunch.
That's what I like.
He's got a bunch.
Inside. He's got a tiger inside of there, but Tarver's got that one straight right hand. He just has not delivered yet.
Step back, fellas, clean. There we go.
He hasn't delivered that straight right hand and come back with the hook.
Work out. Stop. Work out. Work out.
He's the greatest fighter of his generation. What's been missing was the risk. Tonight, it's clear, fighting Antonio Tarver was a bigger risk than Roy Jones thought it would be, though jeopardized throughout the bout. And as George Foreman says, physically low on energy, struggling after having battled to make weight, Roy Jones has dug deep and has found the best within himself in these last 6 minutes and seems on that basis to have saved his record.
That's the best fight we've seen Roy Jones in.
That's a massive understatement. The crowd is ecstatic, as well they should be.
Say no. Come here, baby. I love you, Tampa. I love you, Orlando. Pound for pound. I told you so. Woo! What are you doing, Roy Jones?
George, throughout his career, Roy Jones' most difficult and vulnerable moments have always come when he had his back against the ropes. Antonio Tarver tried to take full advantage throughout the fight tonight.
And he did. He was able to land combinations to the body and that straight right hand right in the middle of that defense. One after another. Roy Jones got a beating on both sides of his head, ear. This is not what you want to see the Roy Jones do in the boxing business.
Tarver is celebrating like that in anticipation of a possible victory. Harold Letterman's card shows Jones winning 116-112. And, of course, emphatically, Harold, Jones won those last 2 rounds.
You know, Jim, as long as the fight was in the middle of the ring, Antonio Tarver didn't do a damn thing. He had to get Roy Jones up on the ropes to score. Roy Jones beat him up in the middle of the ring, and that's all there is to it.
Two very experienced judges, Glenn Hamada and Jerry Roth. Again, Hamada.
There's even swelling on the back of Roy Jones' head. That means he was hit behind the head a few times.
Hamada was one of the scorers when Jones unanimously decisioned Tony back in 1994, November 18, here in Las Vegas. Dave Harris, the least known of the 3 judges, had a Jones fight against Richard Hall in Indiana. A blind man could have scored that fight. Some of the crowd now cottoning more to Tarver than to Jones. And, of course, Jerry Roth has been around 30 years and has scored as many big fights as anybody. Michael Buffer has the official particulars. Let's hear who won.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino of Las Vegas, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. Jerry Roth scores the bout 114-114. Glenn Hamada has it 117-111, and Dave Harris 116-112 for the winner by majority decision, and once again recognized as the universally accepted light heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Jones wins, and the response speaks for itself. George, Antonio Tarver made a lot of fans here tonight.
And that's what we wanted more than anything, a decision. We wanted a good fight. We got a good fight.
Terrific fight. Jones survives the most difficult experience of his long career. Final CompuBox numbers. Tarver, according to CompuBox estimate, landing more and throwing more. Power punches. And frankly, this is where the fight was waged because the jab wasn't a big factor for either guy. Tarver landing 73 out of 255. Jones landing more and landing at a significantly higher rate. That right hand to the body, the key factor throughout the fight for Jones. And now Larry Merchant is once again with Roy Jones.
Thank you very much, Jim. Congratulations, Roy. That's about as close a fight as you've ever had. What were your thoughts waiting for the result and listening to a crowd which thinks it was the wrong decision?
Well, first of all, I take my head off and say, thank God for giving me the opportunity to come out and do what I do. I knew it was going to be a tough situation because I had to sweat 25 pounds. That was a hard 25 pounds to sweat. I had the hardest time my whole career to try to make the weight. That was very, very difficult for me. Going into the later rounds, I knew early he was throwing a lot of flares on the rope, but he really was just trying to win the last 30 seconds of every round, pistol in the house. And by winning the last 30 seconds, that don't give you a victory. You know what I'm saying? So he tried to play a game, some old school games, win 30 seconds of the round, and he think that'll win the fight for him. That's not going to happen.
You look tired in the middle of the fight. How tired were you coming down the home stretch?
Very, very tired because of that weight, man. I'm telling you, I never thought that weight would be so hard to get off. That weight was very, very difficult. It was a tough situation for the brother. But once again, as you know, I got to bite down, do what I got to do. I told him I was coming. I came. And I came at him hard. I stayed on top of him no matter what. And like I said, he won the last 30 seconds of every round, but that's not how
Did you think you were, in the last couple of rounds, you were being urged on by your corner? Did you feel you were in jeopardy of losing the fight at that time?
No, I never worried about losing the fight. I really was keeping the body shots on him. As long as I was landing my early body shots, I was winning the first 2 minutes every round, most of 2 minutes, 30 seconds. He'd get me in the corner and throw, hit my arms, some of the glance to come through, but that's not enough to win a fight. You got to win 3 minutes of every round in order to win the fight. So
Did he ever hurt you?
No, he got a good punch, but you know, I take a good punch. I don't care about no punch. He got my eye a little bit. When I was on the corner, my own lace actually keep hitting in my eye. But, you know, it's all good. The guy came out, he gave a game effort. It was the best fight he could have gave. He is a great light heavyweight. He's a great light heavyweight champion. But tonight, like I said, his strategy was to win the last 30 seconds. You can't win a fight by winning the last 30 seconds. But he did give it a good damn go. And he had everything to gain and nothing to lose, you know what I mean? So it's easy for him to get up for me. It's not easy for me to get up for him and lose for him.
You gave what I would call a very honest account of how you felt coming into this fight when you said that on a scale of 10, you were a 7.
Yeah, I told the truth.
So you had to dig out that 8 and 9 in the end.
I had to because it was nothing for me, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing there for me. I mean, you know, he's 35 years old like I am. I mean, he had his day, you know what I'm saying? If he was going to do something, he did it when we was in our prime. That's what I did. So I take my hat off to him. He gave a good, courageous effort. But like I said, you got to win 3 minutes of every round.
This was such a hard fight. Will we never see you at light heavyweight again?
I can't say that. I might go at light heavyweight. I don't know. I doubt it, though, because the weight was so difficult to come off. I doubt if I ever come at light heavyweight.
So then what are you looking forward to? Are you going to just fight any of the top heavyweights, or do you feel you just want to fight for one big, major, mega-dollar heavyweight?
One mega-dollar heavyweight. It's me and Mike Tyson. That's all I want. After Mike Tyson, I'm done.
So if you don't get Tyson, you're not going to fight again?
If I don't get Tyson, I'm done.
Thank you very much, Roy.
Thank you, brother.
All right, let's go to Roy.
Great fight, champ. Great fight, champ. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, Antonio Tarver, you gave a great effort. You ought to be congratulated, but obviously you're disappointed.
Oh yeah, I'm disappointed, and I fought more than a great. I gave more than a better than a great effort. I won this fight, and all I needed was an opportunity against the best fighter that you all say pound for pound the best, so I showed tonight where I measure up. I am the people's champion. There's a new face in boxing, and it's Antonio Tarver, the Magic Man. I proved to the world. Don't let your eyes fool you.
Tarver.
Don't listen to these commentators. You saw it for yourself. Antonio Tarver beat the man tonight, so that makes me the man.
All right, Antonio, he claims that all you did was flurry on the ropes for 30 seconds of the round and try to steal the rounds. How did you see that?
Well, his face can tell the story. You've never seen anybody stick a jab in Roy Jones' face. You've never seen anybody hit Roy Jones consecutively. I hurt Roy Jones tonight, and he knows it. Everything he threw, I saw. I was able to make him miss. It was a beautiful defensive effort. I won this fight tonight, hands down.
He looked tired from the middle of the fight. Could you have better able to exploit it?
Well, you know, Roy Jones is a crafty, slick fighter. You never know when he's playing possum. There's no excuse. I won the fight tonight. The people saw it for themselves. I have nothing more to say. Antonio Tarver should be considered one of the best fighters today, pound for pound, baby.
You claimed before this fight that he makes mistakes that other fighters have been unable to exploit. What were the mistakes, and how did you exploit them?
Well, basically, when he missed, I made him pay. I was right there. I backed him up. I threw beautiful combinations. I carried the fight. I mean, I don't understand. 17-11.
Do you feel that in your heart of hearts, do you feel he got the decision because he is such a star, or simply because the judges really thought he won the fight?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't worry about what they do outside the ring. All I know is that I did my job in here, and I should have been awarded the championship.
Thank you for a terrific fight.
Thank you.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue, and he officially weighs 175 pounds. In his professional career, he has 21 victories, including 17 knockouts, with only 2 defeats. He comes to this ring tonight looking for revenge and redemption, to prove to the world that he is not just one of the 2 best, but that he is the very best light heavyweight in the world today. From Orlando, Florida, the #1 ranked contender and former light heavyweight champion of the world, Antonio Magic Man Tarver. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing gray, his official weight, 174 pounds. In 1998, he was voted that Olympics' most outstanding boxer, and now, as a professional, his record stands at 49 victories, including 38 knockouts, with only 1 defeat, which was disqualification and reversed by a first-round KO in rematch. He is universally recognized as, pound for pound, the greatest fighter over the past decade. Tonight, we turn the page to another chapter of the saga of a boxing superstar. From Pensacola, Florida, presenting the former middleweight world champion, former super middleweight world champion, former heavyweight world champion, the reigning, defending, 3-time light heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Buddy, you don't have to have it. I just want to make sure you have it.
Okay, baby.
All right, you guys, I gave instructions in the dressing room. Do you have any questions?
I got a question. You got any excuses tonight, Roy?
Let's not ask questions like that. Let's touch gloves and go to work.
Tonight, Roy?
Let's go to work.
Antonio Tarver wants to correct the scoring of the first fight. Roy Jones, in effect, wants to avenge a victory that was too close for his comfort. Let the fisticuffs begin.
They don't want to wait for the bell. Emmanuel, you seen that before?
I love it. No, I've never saw it, but I would like to see it more often.
Never seen it. I got a question. You got any excuses tonight, Roy? What a start.
Oh, he's very, very confident.
One thing Jones told us in a meeting yesterday, he said, you know, you never saw Tarver with his back to the ropes last November. That was because I was too tired. He said, tomorrow night, I'll put Tarver against the ropes.
And one of his most effective punches sometimes is that counter jab of Royce. Whenever Southpaw jabs, he likes to counter it real quick by slipping and then shooting his own jab very fast.
Now, they feint and face each other and feint again, and the crowd already rested, wonders what's going on. But Larry, what's really happening here is that you have two natural counterpunchers against each other,
That's right. And Roy Jones is taking a more positive, aggressive stance, but he's not throwing any punches yet. Neither is Tarver.
Neither man wants to go first. Finally, Tarver leads.
After about a minute, we see a punch.
Yeah, both of these guys are really technical fighters anyway by nature, so this is only normal for them to fight this way.
You have to remember that what made the first fight dramatic was the jeopardy that Jones was in. A lot of it was this kind of posturing and looking for position.
And up until the times that Roy would actually go to the ropes, a lot of the first fight was this way, until Jones would go to the ropes and say, come on and throw your punches, Antonio.
And there were boos in the house during the first fight from time to time. And already Jones is much more active and much more effective in round one. That was the case on November 8th, when he seemed totally out of it those first two rounds.
And trying to keep the fight right in the middle of the ring where he has an advantage.
Straight right hand upstairs, straight right hand to the body. The straight right hand won the fight for Jones in November because he needed to win it that way, pecking to the body over and over with the right hand.
But Roy's not going to the ropes at all so far in this fight. And I don't think he's going to be on the ropes hardly at all, particularly early in the fight. If it does, it'll be late on.
Well, if he has the stamina to stay on his feet and move, he'll do it.
Now they're fighting in the center of the ring, and his hand speed and foot speed is being a problem for Tarver to deal with.
Because at this weight, there's never been hand speed and foot speed like Roy Jones. Whoa! Tarver hadn't gotten off really, and Jones is landing his right hand. So even though much of the first round was a phony war, posing and staring and looking, Jones has scored enough.
He's scored enough to win the round, possibly, but he hasn't really been able to penetrate or find a style yet that can penetrate through Tarver effectively.
Tarver lands a right hand.
Good right jab.
And another Tarver jab, and Jones answers with a hard right hand to the body as round one comes to a close.
All right, baby. That's what I want. Just keep the control. Keep the control. Put it in the middle. Keep the control. Keep your feints going. Keep your feints going. Okay?
Yep.
This joke ain't coming to you. Let's keep him going back.
It's only round one. Let's get that jab working now. Okay, let's get the jab going.
Too much respect,
Okay?
G.
Don't give him that much
Show up,
respect.
baby.
Okay, when he's backing you up, stay low.
Stop using that word, respect me.
Okay, okay, baby. So
Ain't
know
no
what
fucking
you?
respect
Then
here.
let's go out there and get yours.
It's your world, G.
Then go get yours, baby. Okay?
Be the man,
Let's go get
G.
yours.
Dick
Okay?
that.
Same as the last fight. Ain't nothing different. Okay? He's just trying to bully you. Okay? We ain't here for that. Okay, baby? Stay low. Keep that jab working now.
Jones's good friend Derek Smoke Gaynor is seated in round two. Between rounds, after listening to Alton Murkerson, Jones nearly craned his head all the way out between the ropes to listen to whatever it was Gaynor had to say.
So evidently he has a lot of respect for Gaynor. It's interesting, Murkerson has been with Roy throughout his entire career, and that's really rare today. It means about going on those 16 years almost.
Well, Roy Jones has been very loyal to people who work for him and to his friends.
He's a good man, and he's helped a lot of boxers down there in his town. And in addition, he's one of the few guys that continually contributes a lot to helping Joe McClellan.
He's been the chief benefactor to McClellan, who has been in distress ever since his 1995 fight with Nigel Benn. Of course, McClellan and Jones were rivals in the amateurs and might have fought each other as professionals.
Yeah, you know what? It's still interesting that even though he knew that he may fight Joe, when Joe would fight a lot of fights, he would actually come to the fights early in Joe's career and support and even worked in the corner with him at one time.
Now in round two, very much the same kind of action that you saw toward the end of round one. Tarver stalking now more aggressively, more concertedly, and seemingly accepting the role of the leader in the counterpuncher's war. And there's a hard left hand by Antonio Tarver. Jones tries to come back with a right to the body and a right upstairs and another right to the middle of the belly.
You know, it's interesting. I'm watching Tarver. He seems to still be giving Roy problems. Roy has not found a way still to get a sustained attack against him.
And down goes Jones on a hard left hand. And that is the most that Roy Jones has ever been hurt. Only Lou DeVal ever knocked him down. Jones may not get up, and he makes it up. It's over. Jay Nady stops the fight. And Jones is still on Queer Street. And that's amazing. What a statement by Antonio Tarver. One big left-hand shot.
He said, what excuses do you have tonight, Roy? No excuses.
And now there's a fight breaking out in the ring. There's a fight between supporters in the ring, and our cameraman, Gordy Sager's gone down.
Jim.
The action has been quelled in the ring. I'm not really sure what was going on, but I know that Gordy Sager, our cameraman, went down and appears to be okay.
Alton Murkerson said Roy Jones has gotten old, and you could see it because he was throwing one punch at a time, and he was measured by Tarver.
And he never found a way to really get through to Tarver. And Tarver just patiently took his time and really straightened up.
That is the first time in his career he's really been hurt. He's gone down before one time, but there was a perfect left hand. Roy never saw it coming. Roy is out, and Roy may be out of boxing.
And that's why Tarver wanted to be the counterpuncher, because he answered Roy's right hand with a perfect left-hand shot that knocked Jones out. There it was. One previous knockdown against Lou DeVal, that was a flash in Madison Square Garden in New York. This is the first time Roy Jones has been hammered by a power punch, and it's cost him a fight.
In 2 fights now, we have to say that Tarver has bested Roy Jones.
Unquestionably. There's the answer. You know, Jones was still a heavy favorite in this fight, despite everything that happened last November. Here's his valiant effort to get up, but when he managed to get to his feet, at 9, I believe, Emmanuel, he was still wobbling.
If he'd have got on up and they let the fight continue, he would have been seriously hurt.
There's one other thing, Emmanuel. When a fighter has spent most of his career trying to avoid punches and never taking a lot of punches, when he gets nailed with a big punch, that's what can happen.
And this was very interesting. You know, this Tarver seems to have his number. And the punch he caught him with, it was very difficult to avoid that. Tarver had just been hit himself, and he got right on top of Roy, hit him with a short punch that Roy never even saw.
Right. You have to say that Antonio Tarver not only talks a good fight, he fought a good fight.
Absolutely. And here's Tarver's ultimate revenge. He won't have to worry about what the judges see in the fight tonight. They can go home just as Jones can go home, because Tarver sent everybody home with that big left hand. Antonio Tarver rules the light heavyweight division now. And of course, just as was the case throughout most of Jones's career, aside from Roy Jones, there isn't much significant big name opposition in the light heavyweight division, and suddenly now there will be speculation, Emmanuel, we'll talk about it later, there will surely be speculation about whether Tarver wants to go up and test his southpaw style as a heavyweight, because his height and his natural body style might give him the chance to do it. Let's go to Michael Buffer with the particulars on the knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jay Nady reaches the count of 10 at 1 minute 41 seconds of round number 2. The winner by knockout victory, and once again, the light heavyweight champion of the world, Antonio Magic Man Tarver.
soldiers, baby. I dedicated this fight to them. Bring our people home from Iraq, baby, so they can reunite with their family. Tampa, Florida, Orlando, Florida, we on the map. I love you all.
The man loves to talk, and right now he can talk all he wants.
Yes, he can.
He can talk for the next few months if he wants
I would tell him to shut up.
I'd like to listen, quite frankly, because this is going to be a great interview. This man is as exciting once he opens his mouth as anybody we've had in the sport. You made that point before the fight.
Yeah, I'd love to hear him talk. I mean, he makes a lot of sense, and he comes up with some good phrases.
Oh, and there's going to be a whole lot of I told you so.
Yeah.
And we at HBO might come into harm's way just a little bit, but that'll be fun too. Let's find out as we go to Larry Merchant with Antonio Tarver.
Yes. All right, thank you very much. A bit chaotic. Okay, fellas, please quiet a little bit so I can hear Antonio. Congratulations, Antonio. You said before the fight to Roy, no excuses this time. Did you see that he was vulnerable the way he was fighting you?
No, the man came out strong. He tried to dictate early, but I stayed confident. I stayed composed. And, you know, I knew it was a matter of time. When God is with you, can nothing be against you. And I knew it was my time. Judge that. Well, judge that, baby. Judge that.
Well, could you see that he was throwing one punch at a time? He really was trying to make you take the lead, and that he was open, or was it just a punch you threw that landed?
No, it was, you know, hey, knockouts happen in boxing. I was dressed down in defense. I saw everything coming, and I knew that, you know, when he came in and tried to get offensive, I was going to let my hands go. And I was in great shape thanks to Buddy McGirt. We worked real hard, and I never gave up on my dream. So here I am, Larry.
Obviously, this big crowd and all the people out there are shocked by what happened. Even you seem a little surprised the way it ended.
Larry, if you knew the steps I had to take to get here, it's just a jubilee. You know, I'm just happy, and I just know that God lives, and can't be denied. Can't be denied.
All right, let's take a look at the knockout, and you tell us what you saw and why you did what you did.
Right there. He missed. Perfectly timed. We both threw at the same time, and I just turned it over shorter than he did, and it caught him right on the kisser. That was a perfect punch. Perfect punch.
All right, we're going to take a look from another angle. Describe it again.
Okay. Right there, he's trying to bait me. He's trying to feint. I missed my jab. But right here, I'm still in position, and I beat him to the punch with a strong overhand left. That was a beautiful, beautiful executed punch.
What does this night mean to you, Antonio?
It means everything to me, because for so long people say I couldn't, people say I wouldn't, but I never gave up on my dream. I never gave up on myself. I knew that Antonio Tarver was the best fighter in the whole wide world. Pound for pound, baby. Pound for pound.
You said you were like, the two of you were like Siamese twins who grew up together. You parted, you came back together again. How would you describe those former Siamese twins now?
Well, you know what? We still stuck together, because this fight will go down in the history of boxing as an instant classic. This is Marvin Hagler Hearns all over again. And right now, it's just, I'm glad to be a part of that. Without the great Roy Jones, none of this would be possible. It takes a great fighter to beat a great fighter. And you're looking at a great fighter tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's just take one brief look into the future, Antonio. Do you want to stay as a light heavyweight? Are you open to an invitation to fight one of the hundreds of heavyweight champions out there? What do you see, or is it just too soon to even think about it?
Right now, with a great victory like tonight, I'm going to bask in it, enjoy it as long as I can. But like I said, if the money is 6 feet 7 inches tall, I'm willing to fight anybody.
All right, well, you got laryngitis at last.
At last.
After talking for 6 months.
I'm finally at a loss for words, man.
We didn't think we'd see that in this lifetime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Don King, the greatest promoter in the world, for believing in this fight and for believing in me.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you, Antonio. Congratulations. One word, Don. Is Antonio Tarver a candidate to fight for one of the heavyweight titles that you promote?
Yes, he is. He's a candidate for anything. Tonight he did a super thing. He beat Superman, and he certainly showed that he's a great, great fighter. This was a shock and amazement of the world, as Muhammad Ali would say, and we're just delighted that Antonio Tarver came in and made this fight what it can be. It was a great cash card all the way through. And all of my heavyweight champions are ready to fight anybody. Vitaly Klitschko is the top of the list for Layman Brewster, for John Ruiz, or for Chris Bird. And now we got a new one in there with this young man here who just shocked the world tonight on HBO pay-per-view. There's Tarver, Antonio Tarver.
Thank you very much, Don. Jim?
Here's one of the great elements of this story. Ever since Olympic coaches soured on Antonio Tarver in Atlanta in 1996, he has been subjected to a backroom, behind-the-back insidious campaign during which he has received the worst insult that can ever be hurled at an athlete. Over and over and over, all of us in the sport have heard people say, Antonio Tarver has no heart. It's such a rubric that it was almost a given, an article of faith. Well, they'll never be able to say it again. No one should ever utter, after what he did 6 months ago, after what he did tonight, that Antonio Tarver has no heart. That is disproven forever. Here's another fighter with heart. Let's see how he responds to his worst moment. Larry Merchant with Roy Jones.
Thank you, Jim. Roy, there's a first time for everything.
You know how that goes, Larry, and there's no excuses on my part. I come out, I do what I do. You know, I've had an illustrious career. I've enjoyed what I've done. You know, and guys always are up to fight Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. has a hard time getting up to fight guys, you know what I mean? Because it's really nobody out there that Roy Jones Jr. really feel that way about. So, you know, it happens.
But you have to feel that in terms of preparation, you gave your best.
Yeah, I did. I gave it what I had, you know, and I got myself best prepared that I could, you know, under the situation. I'm not making no excuses, and you know, it happens like that sometimes.
Do you think that you're trying to stay in the middle of the ring and take control of the fight in some way, left you open?
I'm not really sure. I have to look at it and see again. The main thing is that, you know, I'm a warrior. I'm gonna fight. So, you know, even when I don't feel well, I don't feel good about certain things, I'm still gonna fight. So I'm always gonna go down and fight. And I thank God for blessing me, giving me the opportunity to come out and do what I do.
Are you suggesting there is something wrong with you coming in tonight?
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying, Roy Jones Jr. gonna fight regardless. He don't care. You know what I'm coming from? So
what did you two say to each other after the fight?
I said, good fight, good shot. That's all I can say.
All right, we'd like you to take a look. Your second look at it, but this time you may get a different view of what happened.
All right. I threw a right hand, and he came up, I backed out, and he threw an overhand. Right off of my right hand, I tried to throw a hook, and he threw an overhand, and it was a good shot. Very good shot.
Has anything like this ever happened to you before, anywhere, anytime?
Yeah, I've been knocked down as an amateur once. Something similar to that happened to me, and you know, it happens to the best of us.
What does this mean for the rest of your career? Do you want to fight Tarver again? Do you want to go back to the heavyweight division, or is it over?
I could fight Tarver again. I could go back to the heavyweight division. Actually, fighting somebody like Tarver is not really of interest to me, because that's why I don't get motivated for these type of fights. The heavyweight fights were the better ones, were the funner ones, and then I let myself come down to try to, you know, do this for the people, for the fans, and I should have left it alone. But I did it, and you know, the guy wanted a good fight. I have no excuse. I thank God for blessing me, giving me the opportunity to come out and do what I do. I did. I gave him my all under the circumstance that I could, and that was that.
So you're suggesting that when you come back, you're not going to go out on this kind of a defeat, and you'll come back as a heavyweight?
No, I ain't said nothing. Yeah, I ain't said what I might do. You know, I ain't sure if I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna stay the same. I ain't sure what I'm gonna do yet. If I don't have no more interest in it than I do now, then it's best for me to stop.
You've accomplished everything you've ever wanted to accomplish in boxing.
Exactly.
And these fights are just icing on your big cake.
Basically, you know what I mean? It's like, for me, I have no real enjoyment in doing nothing like this. I would rather fight the heavyweights. When you fight a guy like this, it's like, what you fighting for? What you doing it for?
Thank you again, Roy Jones.
Chief seconds only. Fighter and chief second only. Gentlemen, this is a 12-round fight for the IBO Light Heavyweight Championship of the world. And I gave you the instructions. I want to remind you, this audience here to watch you fight, so keep it clean. Touch them up.
Roy Jones seems so tightly wound You can't be sure whether he will explode or implode. That's what everybody is here to find out.
Jones looked at in the crowd before the opening bell was his buddy Michael Jordan. And Jordan stood up in the front row and clapped his hands emphatically and said, "Let's go." Now the action begins before nearly 21,000 fans in the arena. Emphatic affirmation that at least in Florida, the boxing public wanted to see the fight. Jones circling, Tarver looking to get started with his jab.
Right now, Roy is trying to keep the fight in the center of the ring. He's trying to get in a position to make one of those little, as he called it, chicken fight moves, and to catch Tarver unexpectedly, get the crowd to get all excited, keep doing that enough over and over to probably try to win a decision without going to the ropes.
What you're watching here reminds us that in their first fight in November of 2003, Roy Jones scored heavily when in the middle of the ring and was hammered constantly against the ropes. At the end of the evening, Jones emerged with a very narrow decision, carved out entirely on his work in situations like this, and usually with one landed punch at a time. He didn't land many combinations in that fight.
About halfway through the first round, Roy Jones has not thrown a punch in earnest.
And Tarver hasn't landed one in earnest.
Tarver's fighting a real cool fight. He's not wasting nothing, not getting himself committed by getting off balance, and sitting there keeping that distance. So whatever Roy does do with one of those little flashy moves, he can always take a step back and keep him off balance. Watch, every time he sees Roy, see there, he's take that little step back and Roy can't get his rhythm going.
Tarver knows very well that sooner or later he's likely to get his chance to take Jones to the ropes, where in their two fights he's been dominant. Jones bursts forward and finally throws three punches, landing one to the body. And they wrestle into the corner.
Break clean.
2 minutes pass before Jones deigned to throw a punch. Tarver fires a jab and then ducks away as Jones looks to return. Hard round to score, mostly shadow boxing. Jones lands one body shot, very reminiscent of their first fight. Jones misses a roundhouse right and a roundhouse left, and the phony war of round one comes to a close.
The only even light blows landed were by Tarver.
I thought Tarver's right jab. I thought he landed a couple of jabs, and that should have been enough to win that round.
Don't charge him when he's ready. Make him move his feet before you attack him. You understand? Try to press a little bit more. Make him move. Don't, if he steps out the hard attack, just keep fighting. You don't know what he's going to do. Make him run all night. If he run all night with bang, bang. If he goes here, only thing he come back with a left hook. Okay, you seen you get under one hook. He's trying to load up on him. Okay. All right? Stay tight. Nice and tight. Keep jabbing him here. Just keep touching him. Shoot the left hand here. Okay. All right? Here, settle down. Okay. In the meantime, you just keep closing that gap. Okay. Just always be smart and keep him in front of you, baby. Deep breath, baby. It's your night, baby. Okay? All right, baby. Very good.
Some had wondered how much Jones's father might talk in the corner between rounds. At the outset, at least, Jones's father is the only one who'll talk in the corner between rounds. Regular trainer Alton Merkerson, the man who's handled Jones through his last 14 years of his career, was outside the ropes and not a part of the discussion. Harold gives the first round to Tarver. CompuBox found Tarver landing 3 punches and Jones 2. Let's see if there's real combat in the second round. Jones with a single shot to the body. Still very reminiscent of what we saw in their first fight. Jones's best round against Tarver was the first round of the second fight, just before he was knocked out.
I think both guys are giving respect to each other. But one of the things that Roy's got still blazing speed. And, you know, his speed has always bothered Tarver. Tarver just has a style that bothers Roy because he seems to know just when Roy's going to do a little aggressive move and knows how to, you know, back up. But both guys are showing a lot of respect for each other.
Well, if Roy Jones doesn't want to get a hit on the chin, he's got the perfect game plan so far. But if he wants to win the fight, he's going to have to start throwing some punches.
Stop! No punches, break lane. Oh, let's go.
Tarver's first attempted left-hand shot fell short.
Both guys are having problems hitting each other. Roy's having problems trying to get to Tarver also.
First time Jones found his back against the ropes, instantly he moved away. In their first fight, Tarver was frequently able to pin Jones against the ropes and strafe him with power punches. Jones landing a jab, not a weapon he's used all that much in his career, but he lands it and steps to the side. Now he lands a jab and follows with a right hand. Jones getting more aggressive, swings a big left hook in the middle of the round. Jones shaking his head as if to do commentary during the fight.
So far, he's winning this round.
Not now. Tarver hit him with a clean left hand and rips him against the ropes. Just like their first fight. Clocks Jones with a left upstairs. And Roy Jones didn't even try to fire back until he moved out of the corner.
No, but he was stunned by that blow.
A hard left hand by Tarver reestablishes Antonio Tarver's ability to get to Roy Jones.
And Roy's legs don't seem to be that stable now. And that's the dilemma to Roy's, and he's almost in a position where he can't get hit hardly at all by Tarver.
Great, no punches, definitely.
Jones misses a wide swinging punch, grabs Tarver. Tarver clocks him a little bit inside. Referee Tommy Kimmons watching closely. Second round comes to a close. The damage was done by Tarver against the ropes.
Jones doing more posturing than punching.
He's playing to the crowd.
Okay, so this is what I need you to do for me, Antonio. Look here. Look here. Nice, stay nice, relax. Now stop shooting the left hand to the head. Go back to the chest. Shoot the jab at his chest. Okay. Keep him off balance. Okay. Get close to get.
Whatever you do it. But all you got to do is stay calm. You're the fighter. Sure, they're going to don't take to the pound. You want to pound. Just be Roy. You understand? Do the thing that it took to make you be Roy again. The fighter you are. The man you are.
First real action of the fight. Jones driven to the ropes by an earlier punch from Tarver, who keeps wailing away.
I'm really kind of surprised and impressed that Antonio Tarver seems to be handling Roy's speed very good.
Power shots in round two by CompuBox count. Tarver 8 out of 26, Jones 2 out of 12. Tarver quickly jumps ahead 2 rounds to nothing on Harold Letterman's card. He also won the first 2 rounds of the first fight between these two fighters.
When he saw that Roy was looked like taking the play and maybe winning that round, he stepped it up and did what he should have did. He started to be more aggressive, letting his big punches go, even at the risk of getting caught.
And you heard Buddy McGirt saying concertedly between rounds, quit firing at his head. Put your jab into his body and fire your straight left hand at his chest as well. They want to be sure they make contact with Roy Jones, who can be very elusive because of his speed. Tarver showing the patience of a man who believes he has the advantages in the fight.
Fighting a very intelligent fight. He's not overcommitting himself, but he's keeping Roy where Roy can't do too much either.
Two good body shots for Jones before he moved away. Tarver has landed his jab a couple times in this round. Tarver seems to be ignoring Buddy McGirt's instruction to go to the chest. Still firing away at Jones's head. Again, Tarver flicks the jab onto Jones's face. Now he fires it to the chest, as McGirt instructed him to do. Straight left hand. Jones managed to diminish the contact by turning away.
But so far, Roy has been able to avoid being too much in the ropes for the most part. And he's fighting really the fight that he wants to fight, except he just hasn't been able to figure out the way to be effective in landing the punches where he can punch and get in and out.
There was a rumor 3 weeks ago that Roy Jones had incurred some damage to his right hand while in training camp, but Antonio Tarver said, hey, if you know the guy, you wouldn't expect him to come into the fight unless he was 100%. No evidence so far that Jones has a bad hand. Once again, Tarver gets into the ropes, and again, Tarver scores when he pins Jones back against the ropes. Once again, they come to the center of the ring, and Jones leaps forward and lands a single shot.
Yeah, Roy's having a pretty good round right here, but Antonio senses, and that's why he's picking it up at the end.
Stay off the kidneys, stay off the kidneys. Work out of it, Roy. Get out of it.
Back in the center of the ring, which is Jones' territory. It's almost a blue state, red state kind of situation. One color when you're near the ropes, and that's all Tarver. One color in the center of the ring where Jones can sit. Left hand landed for Tarver to punctuate the round.
Close round again.
Just keep your look. Keep your composure. Look. Keep your composure. Don't make him take chances. You understand what I mean? Just remember, don't attack him when he's set for you. Make it move before you attack him. When you attack him, before you go in on him, make it move. And then attack him, all right? You gotta move to the left a bit more with your jab. Flick with your jab, man. Flick with your jab.
Let it go. Show night. Take a nice deep breath. Okay, keep closing the gap a little more. But with the jab in here, look at me. The jab in here, don't worry about his head. Okay. Okay, when you get close to him, there's fast combinations. Don't worry about power. Okay. Keep digging down here. Okay, he can't take it like that down there.
Nice deep breath, baby.
All right? Let's go, baby. Beautiful. Keep the defense tight.
CombiBox numbers in round 3. Tarver 10 out of 38. Jones 5 out of 22. Tarver landed 5 out of 26 jabs. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. 3-0, 30-27. Antonio Tarver. Jim, if you ask me what I've learned so far, I've learned that Roy Jones Jr. circles beautifully to his right, comes back occasionally to his left, and doesn't let his hands go. Now, I hope he's starting right now, because so far, Tarver's doing all the fighting, and that's all there is to it. 3-0, Tarver.
You saw Jones with the flurry of left hooks in the center of the ring after Tarver had landed one straight left hand to start the round off. Tarver going back to sticking his jab. Jones continues to play to the crowd. Although watching him play keep away like this, you tend to wonder why they love him so much.
Well, that's a good point, Jim. The thought was that maybe Roy Jones would be able to steal rounds, but if you're circling the ring like that for most of the time and trying these chicken moves, as he calls them, I don't know how you get the crowd on your side or the judges.
Crowd's still on his side. Hard right hand by Jones. His best punch of the fight, and then another right hand to the chest of Tarver. And Jones is smiling as he rips Tarver to the middle of the belly with a right hand again.
Now, I thought the right hands to the head missed. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought the right hand to the body landed, but I thought the right hands to the head, Tarver slightly moved his head just enough where they went over his shoulder.
I think you're probably right.
I think Jones has found something here now. He thinks that he can start himself off by going to the body.
One thing Tarver said was very interesting in the meeting. He said, I'm prepared to take some blows if I have to, because I know Roy is fast and there's a good chance he'll hit me, but if I have to do that to make the fight rough and tough, I'm going to do that.
One question you have to ask about Jones, watching the way he's fought the first 4 rounds. Can 36-year-old legs move like that all night?
And they both are about the same age, but I think it's been a little bit more wear and tear on Roy Jones Jr.'s legs.
Well, he's had nearly twice as many fights. and significantly more rounds than Tarver in his career.
But it's interesting that up until the last 3 fights, neither one of them have been hit too much for the most part. They have a very good career as far as defensive skills is going.
Tarver did show courage in finishing a fight with Eric Harding with a broken jaw. Jones gets him with a good left in the middle of the ring. If judges are looking for a round to give to Roy Jones, this would appear to be the best candidate so far. Certainly he's scored more in the center of the ring in this round than seems to have been the case in the other 3. Another little body shot for Jones. We're a third of the way through the fight.
Hope, okay? So look how you got, listen, when he gets low, you get low with him. Okay. Because when you get low, he gets low, you punch him down. Okay. He's coming out with the counter. All right. So when he gets low, you get low with him and put that stick out there. Okay. Come on, baby, stay focused.
You force him to change, he's gonna have to adapt. You know what I mean? You got him already, just keep him confused like that. Give him the top. Move in that direction. Sooner or later, you're going to start moving to your left and sticking with your jab a little bit. You understand what I mean? No, you don't want to get stereotyped. You don't want to get to where you're being predictable. You understand? And the most important thing, when you see him loaded up, you're going to see him set. Make him move before you charge. You step at the move and then charge. You understand?
Both fighters expected to make upwards of $5 million tonight. They aren't doing much to earn it so far.
CompuBox numbers on power shots in round 4, Tarver 8 out of 22, and Jones 11 out of 19. Harold Letterman gets Jones off the snide, giving him a round for the first time on the Letterman scorecard. But overall CompuBox numbers in the fight favor Tarver.
But this is the way that Jones wanted the fight to go. When I gather talking to his father, he wanted to try to use his speed, do enough to win the fight. Don't even worry about a knockout. If it happens, it happens, but they're trying to win a decision.
Good combination by Jones in the center of the ring. Tarver snaps him with the jab. Jones comes back and lands a right hand. Jones playing a kind of a head game with Tarver, chiding him, smiling at him, as if to say, oh, I'm far the superior fighter. And now a little showboating for Jones gets the crowd even more excited.
One thing is Jones, as I've always acknowledged, and I think Tarver too, that he has more speed. But it's still, Tarver has that style that bothers him. And I think that if Tarver can land a good, clean shot, he'll turn it around because he can take a punch, I think, better than Roy, and that's a big difference.
Jones's shots were blocked there. Now Tarver goes back to his jab, gets Jones into a corner, hits him with 2 big left hands. Jones shakes his feet as if to say, oh, you didn't hurt me, and manages to land a combo in return.
So far, Jones has slapped the underside of his foot, stuck out his tongue at Tarver, and they've had a few exchanges.
And what happens a lot when Roy throws that right hand in here, it looks very fast and flashy because of the speed, but Tarver avoids most of those by blocking or either bending his body to his left.
Jones trying to fight his way off the ropes for one of the first times in his 3 fights with Antonio Tarver, and he gets it done. Not previously has Jones been able to punch his way away from the rope. That time he did. Lands a right hand. Tarver misses over the top with a slow, lazy left.
Tarver looked like he's either confused or hurt.
Jones ducking the left, grinning. You would think from the look on Jones's face that he's pitching a shutout here. Maybe he thinks he can influence the judges with sheer confidence. Body shot for Jones. Tarver trying to land something big upstairs. Jones much more willing now to throw punches off the ropes than has been the case previously. And with the uppercuts, he creates space and moves away.
Jones has often gone to the ropes to create offense. He hadn't done that before in either of the first 2 fights with Tarver.
That's 4 straight jabs Tarver's landed. Make it 5 jabs in a row, landed flush. Will he get credit for it?
That's what I'm talking about, Trill. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on, man. That's what I'm talking about. Give me that water, man. Give me that water. 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 Give me that water As long as you keep them faint, good, Roy. As long as you keep faint, that's on running. And that side moving.
No, he's hooking to the body. Where's your hook at? Right. Come on, baby. You went too hard for this, man.
Tarver throws a combination of punches on the ropes. Perhaps one of them landed cleanly to the body. Later, maybe Tarver expecting Jones not to punch back. Jones punches back effectively.
Jones had not used the uppercut at all in their first fight, and twice in that round he fought his way off the ropes, largely on the strength of that punch. So a new wrinkle for Jones. He wins another round. 18 out of 41 power shots for Jones in that round. Now Jones gets in another uppercut, but Tarver lands another left. Jones leaps off the ropes and lands a right. They're starting to fight. And in the fight, Jones is doing better than most would have expected.
That speed is still is tremendous speed, but you know, it's one thing about it. I think that his speed is good. He's beating him, but he cannot afford to get hit with a solid blow.
And he just did. He caught a left hand, partially blocked, and catches another one. So Tarver got in two lefts there and drives Jones back into the corner with a partial land. Tarver's landing his jab here, just as he was at the end of the preceding round, and that sets up another left-hand attack. And now Jones is back on the defensive as he's been in the past, on the ropes against Tarver.
So why Roy should be working that little jab that he throws sometimes when Tarver jabs, Roy would throw a fast counter jab over top. I'm surprised he has quit doing that because he does it very effectively. But right now, Tarver's been able to be very effective with that slow probing right jab of his.
He's being allowed to land it with impunity. Jones not countering with the left hook or the little jab over the top.
Every time that Tarver sees him coming forward, Tarver usually backs back and bends over to his left, which neutralizes the angle of Roy's right hand.
Straight right hand landed for Jones there. And he grins to let the judges know he landed it. Now another opportunity against the ropes. Tarver reaches and lands the left hand. Jones sticks out his tongue again. Tarver still landing his jab. Jones may be shaking his head, but the jab is landing. Those are short. They collide. And Tarver tells Tommy Kimmons, I think he tried to butt me. This has been another pretty good round for Antonio Tarver, who reestablished himself somewhat in the fight.
Yeah, the crowd is all into Roy because of the flashy movement, but the actual punches landed are coming from Tarver.
He's clowning, you keep working. Okay? That's how you make a dogfight of it. You're not cut. There's nothing there. Nothing there. There's nothing there. Listen to me. You got to make it a dogfight with this guy. Okay? He don't want to fight. But if you sit there and let him bullshit, that's what he's going to do. Okay? Shoot the left hand to his chest. Don't worry about his head. He's doing all those moves. You close the gap now. Let's keep it tight, Antonio.
Root for you, baby. Flick it. Flick it. You ain't trying to take too much to it. You don't want to push it. Let him get his head. You want to flick. Keep feigning. He'll show you what he's going to do. That's what causes confusion. He's going to get deaf. He's going to try to come after now.
Here's Jones with a little bit of tongue action.
CompuBox numbers in 6. It was all Tarver. 14 out of 63, including 7 out of 31 jabs. Jones only threw 18 punches in the round, landing 6. Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 4 rounds to 2, 58-57. 56, Antonio Tarver. Jim, I thought Roy Jones threw enough punches to win rounds 4 and 5, but Tarver did come back and win a 6. That's how it comes to 4-2. But I gotta tell you, when Roy Jones feints, I don't know, Antonio Tarver gets defensive, he'll back up, he doesn't punch. Somehow or another, Roy can really freeze him in the middle of the ring by feinting him. The problem is, Roy don't punch after Tarver stops. 4-2, Tarver.
Roy delighted the crowd with some theatrical clowning after Tarver landed a body punch. The scoring was the body punch. And there's more scoring for Tarver right there.
I guess Roy thinks this is a vaudeville act.
Well, outside of that one round where when he was near the ropes over there and he landed the body shots and the uppercuts, he hasn't really did that much effectively. He has some beautiful moves, but he hasn't really been doing that much effectively in terms of landing punches.
They step on each other's feet. Jones points to the canvas to say so. But again, Tarver landed against the ropes and scored with a left hand over the top.
I think if Roy would be more busy and throw more punches, I think he could possibly win this fight, even by knockout, because his reflexes and everything seems to be great. His power.
He looks brilliant. Yeah, he looks like the speed is back.
Very good. Looks very much more strong.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to engage. He doesn't want to stand in there and fight. He used to use his speed to intimidate his opponents. Now all he's doing is a lot of this punk junk.
Listen, if they gave points for shaking your head, he'd be way ahead in the fight.
I mean,
but they give points for leather on flesh.
What's traveling through my head is, say Roy should squeeze out a victory with this style somehow. I don't think that's going to restore who Roy Jones was at all.
Well, you've said all along, Larry, it depends on how he fights the fight. Whether he can regain some of the supposedly lost legacy isn't just about victory or defeat in your view.
I'm sure he'll think it is, and that's fine. But all those people who became Roy Jones fans didn't become Roy Jones fans because he stuck his tongue out.
This is another non-scoring round for Jones.
Yeah, but it goes to Tarver again. You know, both guys are having problems of sustaining a real solid attack, but Tarver is the busier fighter.
Roy Jones's 3 sons at ringside. The twins are the 2 boys in the back.
You got to step around to your left, all the way around, make the right side. At the angle, throw your punches back from the angle. My head again, son. Deep breath, give me a deep breath. See, he's getting kind of desperate now. My head again, son. All right, now you got to.
Now you're closing the gap, okay? Now you're doing your thing. But what you got to do, you got to keep it up. Okay. You can't give up nothing. Okay. All right, baby? You can't give up nothing, Antonio. All right, combination. Combination.
CompuBox numbers in 7, Tarver 11 out of 48. Jones threw 8 punches by CompuBox count in the 7th round. 8 punches. Now Tarver gets him against the ropes again and lets his hands go again. Tarver landed the jab. Jones can't get close enough to land.
The crowd is now chanting for Tarver.
Well, that's going to occasion something of a verbal civil war, I imagine, because the Jones passionate.
But he's not giving his fans a chance to get excited about anything.
Roy Jones Jr. was a very good fighter early in his career. In fact, in the Olympic trials and everything, he was a sensational fighter, blazing hand speed. seemingly after he visited Joe McClellan, he became extremely safety conscious, and then I guess following the 2 knockouts, it's made it even worse. He seemed to be more preoccupied with not getting hurt than he is with actually trying to hurt an opponent now.
So do you think the real objective here, Emmanuel, is to fight Tarver and not get knocked out, and then try to make some claim about that?
And you try to win the decision, but first, #1 priority, don't get knocked out. That's more important if I have to than even trying to win the fight in his mind he's looking at.
So he'd rather lose the fight and complain about the decision than actually
I don't think he'll complain, but I think his main priority is just really worried about getting hit. Don't forget, this man knocked him out cold.
It's impossible for me to imagine, quite frankly, that he's going to finish a fight like this and then say, well, Antonio beat me fair and square. It's just very difficult for me to see that coming out of Jones's pride.
And his whole attack is basically trying to throw a right hand. Basically, a right. That's all he tries to paw.
One at a time.
Right hand, no combinations of blazing hand speed he used to have. Not even the jab.
The crowd's booing and Jones is grinning, as though the boos are making him some kind of a winner.
He's grinning and flinching and ducking to it all at the same time.
One thing's for certain. At this rate, Tarver can't lose because Jones isn't trying to hit him.
Roy Steele, I think if he would really open up and take that risk, he has the punching power and the speed where he could possibly win this fight by knockout.
I tend to agree with you. I think when he's let his hands go and thrown punches, he's shown that he's still too fast for Antonio Tarver. But at the end of the day, you can't win a fight if you don't want to fight.
That's all he's going to throw is that one right hand, that kind of whip-like right hand to the body, or either whip right hand to the head, and that's about it.
You got to take care of business. You got him in deep water. Look out, man. Come on. Look, Roy, you got him out there in the deep water. Yep. Got a jail thing. You got to pick it up a little bit. You got to pick it up just a touch. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't take no chances. You know what I mean? You got to get busy. Look, as long as you roll to your left, go back to your left and hit to the body. Go back, step to the left, and go right to the body. That works every time. You know what I mean? I'm talking right in the form of a hook leg.
Hey, Dave, come on with that jab and that. Keep the head moving. Okay, baby? Now listen, when you hear that 10-second tap, he's going to try to steal around.
Don't let him.
Don't let him. Okay, don't let him. All right? Okay, baby, let's go now. Let's pick it up.
Nice deep breath, baby boy.
Now this is where our condition is going to kick in now. Okay. Let's pick it up. Come on, baby. Stay focused.
Antonio Tarver is a long, tall needle who punctured the myth of Roy Jones with a one-punch knockout. Roy Jones seems to be puncturing his own myth so far.
I think that Buddy McGregor is doing an excellent job in the corner. He's telling them everything to do that's right. And I was listening to a Big Roy telling Little Roy that step it up, but don't take any chances.
Step it up, but don't take any chances. That's exactly what he said. He said you need to be a little busier. How many times have we seen fathers refuse to tell their sons the truth about what's happening in the fight? Roy Jones Sr. in his son's corner for the first time in 14 years seems to feel like everything's going pretty well. And it's not.
Unless he knows something that...
Tarver hit him flush with a big left hand there.
Yes, Tarver stepping it up, making it more of a physical, rougher fight now. That's what he wanted to do, even though he's taking a chance on getting hit because he's not as coordinated as Roy is, but he's willing to take that gamble on.
And by the way, if you're looking for the sudden explosion and the dramatic Jones knockout victory, his last knockout win was in September of '92. A TKO of Clinton Woods.
That's a long time.
Excuse me, 92, not 2002. It feels like 92, but it was 2002, 3 years ago. Landing an uppercut from all the way out there shows you how fearless Tarver is.
Well, he's saying that he's realizing that Roy's going to do the same thing over and over. Do that little paw, get down in his little chicken fighting motion and run in and throw the right hand. And that's all he's doing. There's nothing else beyond that. And so he just looks for that one punch.
When's the last time Jones threw a legitimate combination?
And he could really out-jab Antonio with his feet if he wouldn't work it.
But the jab here tonight is all Tarver. Of course, through much of his career, Roy Jones was too good to have to use a jab.
Well, you know,
lead with the left hook.
He's still facing the guy and looking at that big left hand all the time in his face that knocked him out cold. So it's still deep in his mind whether he wants to face or not. He's a little reluctant of running into that big power punch.
He's looking at a longer, stronger fighter with a better, more committed jab and some serious technical advantages. And he's not putting his own advantages to work.
Now, good right hand. That's a perfect right hand.
Great punch by Jones. One at a time.
I think it was the best punch of the fight.
One at a time.
Yeah, no combination.
Maybe he thinks one big punch can win the round. There he throws another jab. But when Tarver throws jabs, he doubles and triples. Tarver popping Jones with a little left, even in the center of the ring. Now Tarver backs up near the rope. Jones fires one more shot to end the round. 9 rounds in the book. We're 3/4 of the way through the scheduled 12-round fight.
You got to keep backing them up. When you back them up, it makes it seem like you're doing more work. Okay, I know you want to outbox him, but look, we got 9 minutes. Okay? Look at me, baby. 9 minutes. All right? Let's go.
You missed him on, you went on top of his head. You throw that punch at his chest, you hit him every time. Yeah. But to make sure you step to your left and you round on the side when you throw it. All right. Somewhere down, remember now, he's the champ. Somewhere down the line, that's where they say he's the champ. Somewhere down the line, you're going to have to establish some points.
Come here.
There was a straight right hand that Roy landed in that round.
The best punch of the fight, but still, I don't know if that was enough to win the round because that was the only punch he landed that round.
Harold Letterman will tell us in a second whether it was enough to sway him to give a round to Jones. The last 3 rounds, Jones is 7 out of 57 by CompuBox count. 7 out of 57 in 3 rounds. Tarver's 32 out of 160. Harold, how do you have it scored tonight?
Okay, Jim. 7 rounds to 2. 88. 83, Antonio Tarver. Jim, when they came up with the expression, you can't pull a trigger, this is what they were talking about. He sees the openings, he makes the feints, he can't let it go. Look at that. I mean, Jones just covered up. Instead of letting go with that right hand, he's covering up. Tarver's doing all the fighting. It's all Antonio Tarver. This fight is basically over.
I wouldn't say that, but I would say this much. I don't think it's a problem of Roy's reflexes. Contrary to that, I think it's just a mental thing.
No, but he's not saying it's reflexes, Emmanuel. He's saying he's unwilling to take the risks because he's afraid of getting hit. Maybe the reason he was so cautious all those years is because he didn't want to get hit.
Tarver lands 2 combinations. Jones answered with a single punch. In the first fight, Roy said he won because Tarver, quote, only fought 30 seconds of every round. Jones hadn't done that much here. Tarver 2 jabs, Jones with a right hand to the body. There's a good counter left by Jones, but again, 1 punch at a time. Some in the crowd are beginning to boo. Now there's a body shot by Jones. That shot blocked by Tarver's glove.
But you know, all of them are right-hand punches. Right-hand punches.
Jones getting perilously close to the ropes again. You know what happens when he goes there, and there it is. Tarver landed the uppercut and the big left hand.
Yeah, they haven't made full contact, but Roy was rolling from those shots.
Making plenty of contact to score.
Yeah. Now it's time for Roy to let his shots go.
Stop! Don't hold him and hit him now. Don't hold him and hit him. Let's go.
As Tarver's tired after that explosion, and he's very vulnerable now.
Tarver blocked the first shot. I didn't see whether the body shot actually landed. A combination by Jones and a sudden assault against the ropes.
I didn't really see much land at all, really, I'll be honest with you. Just that Tarver laid back into the ropes.
No, the big event was that Jones tried a combination.
Oh, good right hook by Tarver.
Absolutely. He backed Jones off for the right hook at the end of the round.
better there. A little bit. Give me some Vaseline on this up here. That's a little bit better, son. You're using your head just a little bit better. Now you got to step it up a little bit more, brother.
Okay, do what?
You got to step it up a little bit more. Start fanning the jam a little bit more. Get some water on his head. Some little Vaseline in. Start letting that showmanship. This
want to fight. Don't you understand? Look at me, champion. 6 minutes, baby. Look at me. You got to stay busy. When you get him in the corner, put them arm movements on him. He's not going to commit. The only time he commits is when, look at me. Only time he commits is when you step back.
Appearances can be deceiving. Jones landed a couple of light body punches, and that was it.
Tarver wasn't using the best textbook way of getting away from those punches, but by leaning way back, he dodged 2 or 3 of them.
He dodged the punch, but it generated excitement with the audience like he was being hurt.
Sugar Ray Robinson famously said at the end of his career that you start to, when you see the openings, by the time you punch, they're closed.
CompuBox numbers in 10 on power shots. Tarver 17 out of 54. Jones 10 out of 27. Buddy McGirt said, go be busier, Antonio. And Tarver has listened to it.
Antonio's punches seem to be much more sloppier and seem to be much more fatigued in his punches. He's working hard, but if Roy would step it up, Roy could turn it around, but Antonio was outworking him.
Stay off the kidneys. Stay off the kidneys. Let's go.
Tarver looks tireder.
He looks tired. His punches are not as crisp as anything.
Roy Jones won the first fight.
Right hook.
He's badly stunned now. Tarver almost falls over the ropes, trying to knock Jones out after he stunned him big with a right hook. Jones is momentarily stiff-legged. Tarver's got a chance, and he is second knockout of Roy Jones, and he pursues it here in the 11th round.
And Antonio is tired himself.
Jones is not throwing back.
And Antonio should stand back and get one good clean power shot, but he looked like he's about to go down without even being hit himself.
He's tired.
He's tired.
But he's ripping Jones with big shots.
He's more than
now he thinks Roy's playing possum.
No, Roy is dazed.
Tarver thinks he might be playing possum a little bit. That's why he backed off.
Antonio's leaving himself on him to get it because he's tired.
Most exciting round of their 3 fights. Tarver caught Jones with another shot.
Tarver like he's just totally shot. I mean, he can't even get his balance down enough to land 2 solid blows.
And Jones is blinking, trying to either get his focus back or clear his head.
Well, Tarver seems like he's just shot.
I agree with you. Tarver is tired.
He looks like he wants to quit. He's trying to fall out of the ring himself without even being hit.
Winning the fight going away, but suddenly wobbly-legged against Jones, and now he goes back to firing and snaps Jones' head up with an uppercut. This was almost a 10-8 round for Antonio Tarver. Now he's got to be careful down the stretch.
Well, the way it looks, there's a good chance Roy Jones is going to knock him out the next round.
Body shot lands for Jones. Tarver ducked the big right hand. We're into the last 10 seconds of the round. And Tarver gets out of the round okay, so does Jones. They were both harmed in that round. Tarver harmed Jones more.
Yeah, but Tarver didn't really get harmed. He just fell apart.
Look at me. Didn't I tell you that right hook? Listen now. It's the last round. Listen to me. He's trying
too much.
Hey, y'all gotta get that ice out of here.
All right. Okay. Yo, get down, man. Get down now. You get down. All right, Roy.
Fucking for 3 minutes. You understand me? If we gotta carry you out of here, we carry you out of here. You understand me?
You gotta do is go back doing yourself now. Your head clear now, right? All right, then. Go back. You just down. Don't sit down.
That was
Antonio Tarver has always felt like he was the groom to a famous celebrity who went unnoticed. He has a chance here to become more than noticed.
CompuBox numbers in 11, Tarver 29 out of 82, Jones 9 out of 39. The 29 shots landed against Jones, most or tied for the most ever in his career. Tarver looks stiff-legged and totally without energy here. Jones seemed done between rounds, but then revived in the last 10 seconds. What drama it would be if Roy Jones somehow pulled out a 12th round knockout here.
It would not surprise me. It's more to this. The Tarver just seems like he just don't want to fight anymore.
Jones only has one 12th round KO in his career. It was against Richard Frazier, a New York policeman, in January of '99. Trying to get it with one straight right hand here.
Tarver should be doing something. He's got an expression on his face, and his body rhythm is all of that like, hey, man, please don't hurt me. I'm done. I'm
I
finished.
just think he wants to survive the round. While he hit Jones in the last round, he also hit the wall in terms of his stamina.
I agree, Roy, but it's fortunate that Roy is not still too aggressive. Roy is still too preoccupied with being defensive-minded, and that's what may let Tarver get through with this fight.
Somebody needs to tell Jones it's the 12th round. Tarver clocks him with a right hook over the top. It was a right hook that hurt Jones in the last round.
And Tarver seems to have gotten his mental and attitude back towards being aggressive again.
Tarver slipped, but managed to go forward anyway. Jones has once again folded up the tent and stopped throwing punches. Inexplicable at this point in the fight.
I think this raises maybe the probability that Antonio Tarver would have given Roy Jones all he could handle in the best day he ever had as a light heavyweight.
Because Roy still has got his reflexes to be in coordination. That is not diminished at all.
Low blow from Jones. Tommy Kemmons says keep him up. Hard right hand to the chest by Jones. Tarver's just trying to make it out of the round. He's done enough offensively to satisfy himself.
Yeah, Roy should definitely take a risk. He's got everything to gain and nothing to lose. Should let it all hang out.
It's just not in him, it appears, Emmanuel.
On the 30th anniversary of the Thrilla in Manila, Antonio Tarver and Roy Jones complete their trilogy. Not in the same glorious way as Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, but in a way that could provide an answer as to who was the winner of the three-fight series.
I thought Tarver clearly won the fight.
He clearly won the fight, but it really did enhance him when you look at the great light heavyweights, Bob Foster, Matthew Saad, Muhammad.
Well, but that's not the issue tonight. You know, the issue was he wanted to beat Roy Jones. You know, the rest of that is for another day.
Harold Letterman's card you saw right there, 116-112. He gave the 12th round to Jones, which narrowed the margin to 4 points. Let's take a look now at the three judges who will officially score the fight. Paul Herman from here in Florida, not nationally known, not a big name judge, had Shane Mosley ahead of John Molina through 7 rounds, pretty easy. Michael Pernick, saw him a couple of weeks ago, now we have him back again, scored Jones over Derek Harmon every round for Jones.
10 years, buddy. 10 years.
Peter Trematera, also from here in Florida, not nationally known, not a big name judge. Had Mayweather beating Hernandez 119-109 through 12. Not a difficult score to come to.
You put it on, Double. And still
great job. Great.
Emmanuel Stewart having a conversation with Buddy McGirt, who rode his fighter like a jockey down the stretch. Maybe didn't get as much out of him as he might have wanted, but appeared, at least to our eyes, to get a clear victory for Tarver. Antonio Tarver said to us yesterday, I could stand to lose. What I couldn't stand is to be robbed. Let's go to Michael Buffer and see what the judges did.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Paul Herman and Michael Pernick scored it 116-112. Peter Trematera, 117 to 111, all to the winner by unanimous decision. And still universally recognized the light heavyweight champion of the world, Antonio Magic Man Tarver.
Well scored. All credit to the judges.
Good scoring.
Good decision, solid scoring, just what you wanted to see.